How did I turn the microphone back off? Weird. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. Sorry, got thrown off by that. A little bit later than usual, and I don't have a costume. I know, so sad. Just one of those days, it happens. Um, had a lot throwing this together today. There isn't a whole lot to talk about, so I thought when I don't have a whole lot to talk about, I want to start looking at other content, other topics, and I think one of those that I'm going to start implementing in is different body cam footage that I find interesting, that might be something to talk about. But obviously we got some stuff to get through first, talking about this whole Ryan Beard situation, really getting into it. We saw it on the last live stream I did. We looked at it like at the very end of the stream. We saw it briefly. I'm not going to watch the full video because it's pointless. But I do think that it'll be interesting looking at all the different points that have been made. His conversation with Ethan in DMs and all of that. But before we get into that, let's look at some of my favorite clips from this past week. So anybody using their air fryer like this, the results air frying my chicken. Y'all don't judge me. I had to improvise. So don't judge. No judgments here.
Man, so this chicken been on for about a good little hour. I say it's doing its job.
What do we think about this? Y'all doing this or no? I don't think that I would put the oil in there. I have tried to think of like, how can I do my fried chicken without the need for oil? Can I do it in the air fryer? But, he heard air fryer, and he was like, oh, like a deep fryer. He thought he figured something out.
But overall, this probably be my last time I ever air fry some chicken, though. This take too long.
Yeah, he said it took him an hour. An hour to get your chicken looking, on the carpet, 2 on the floor. He's right next to the bed.
But it is successful, though. See that? Successful. Just take too long.
He's just chilling in bed right now. Got to make sure he keeps an eye on it. He's got the crock pot right next to him.
Chicken don't take that long. It take about a good 20 minutes. But I guess with the air fryer, man, you only can go so high.
Hello, all the regular schmegulas in chat. Welcome in. Next to water. Hey, what's the problem? Got the outlet right here, so... Hey, at least he's got it on a surge protector,
On the 400. Got on the highest. Man, so this chicken been on for about a good little hour.
Just a good little hour. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I bet you the chicken's like gummy as fuck by now. Probably tastes like biting into a piece of rubber, but might get crisp. I don't know. An hour's too much. You still sick, Alex? Stay away. Don't get me sick. Are there any sicknesses going around right now? People have been getting sick a lot. Describe all of your symptoms, Alex, including bowel movements. Let us know. Here's a little new song for you guys if you haven't heard. I don't know if he ever dropped this. This came out 2 weeks ago that he made this video, and he said, should I make the full song?
Hello?
Banana phone! That's all I needed to hear. I don't need to hear any. We'll play it one more time. I don't need to hear any more of this song. It's a masterpiece.
Hello?
Banana phone! There's just something about it, I've been sickly. My trash can looks like a biohazard. It happens. At least do you have a special trash can for it, or are you just going in your normal one? Just hoping for the best. Yeah, a lot of people are sick in my area. Sadly, no bowel movements to tell you about. Oh no, constipated. Sometimes that's even worse. Well, speaking of bowel movements, and the wiping method. You know, we've heard front to back, back to front, reaching in from the front versus reaching in from the back, the side to side method some people use, standing versus sitting. But have we all heard of catching shit? This is from Bully and the Beast. Wax catches shit. I'm sure you guys have seen this. This is a very famous clip, but I just saw it again recently and I was like, I gotta bring it up. We gotta talk about it.
We all touch shit before.
I've never shitted in a tissue before.
You touch shit every single day if you shit. Like you don't
This is a super class. This thing's 6 years old. This is an old ass video, but I see it on Instagram every once in a while. Probably like every 2 to 3 months. It gets brought up again. And you know, it's such a topical thing that it's like, pooping is always topical. So you got to figure out, is this guy alone? Is he alone in the world? Or are there people that just hide in the shadows and don't want you to know that they're catching their shit every time?
Wipe yourself. It got shit in the tissue when you wipe yourself.
You don't know how to get Why are you touching the shit? The tissue is for the shit.
That's what I'm saying. You grab shit all the time.
No, you're not saying that. You don't. Yeah, you're wipe.
Not wiping, you grab the shit.
You don't grab. Why are you grabbing shit?
Hold on.
Do you got shit stuck in your ass while you're taking?
So you telling me that y'all just let the doodle fall in the toilet? Y'all don't catch it every time?
Yo, I am about to leave, bro.
How do y'all check?
I don't know if this is a bit or not. He seems too earnest. Like, he seems like it's really, like, genuine. Coming from a place of, coming from his heart.
Take a shit. I must have seen this shit wrong.
My nigga.
I've been catching my shit all these years.
Nah, I'm more disgusted than, like, I feel like I can't continue.
What are you talking about?
My stomach is
So hold on,
turning.
so y'all just sit there and shit come right out. No way.
What happens if you got the runs or something like that? What do you do then?
That shit, you wash your hands. Why do you think people wash their hands?
That's the part that's crazy. That last sentence by him. Apparently, people were saying that apparently in the longer version of this, he does continue and he basically says that it's the better version. You're wrong if you do it a different way. But let's get into Ryan Beard. Actually, first, small update with Snark Subpoena. The judge has requested more details for the quash. Because the judge needs to verify if the claims against the claims for retaining anonymity are valid. That's basically all this says. I think they have till the end of the month instead. So this came through at the beginning of the month. They have to supply documentation for the judge privately by the end of the month, and then the judge will determine if their right to anonymity or whatever is a valid claim in this circumstance. But the whole thing is it's about when does anonymity lose its validity, and usually that is in the pursuit of committing a crime. And at the very least, we know at the very least there were, I don't know if it was, I'll say at least one that pinned the thread with all of the, I forget what you call them, where they go post the videos elsewhere. There's like a term that people use for it. I forget what it is, but where, like, basically when you like a pirate site where they re-upload content, not just for Denims and Frogan and Kelsey and it's like Casey Tron. Sorry, Kelsey, doing you dirty. And Casey Tron, but Casey Tron, all three of their, as opposed to those, they also did it on it's YouTube spelled differently, which is like a re-upload site. I forget what it's called. There's a term that people use for that. Freebooting. No, it's something else. They called it something in the legal documents, I remember. But Ian has an Anna Kasparian moment when mimicking Ethan. He does the bad thing.
I love financially ruining women online. That's what I love to do.
The music always too. I don't know why. I saw someone say he can't decide like which side he wants to pick. It's like it really is like the old iDubbbz is like his Green Goblin mask, and it's constantly calling on him to be racist and offensive. It's the content cop Pat, like in his content cop video, how it was calling upon him. That is like his old ways that just keep yelling on his shoulder. He has on his shoulders he has two devils. On his shoulders he has two incels. But here is an example. Oh wait, I was gonna put this at the end actually. So put this at the end. There we go. Yeah. So I'm gonna put that at the end, showing some more negligence at the end. But someone said the only reason Ryan Beard turned on Ethan is because he's bitter H3 didn't platform him like he hoped when he was doing self-promo in the chat. I don't necessarily think that this is true. My genuine, honest opinion, and let me know what you guys think, because genuinely the way I feel about this is that Ryan Beard feels like he wants to play like the centrist. He doesn't want to play both sides. He's above it all and wants to be like completely separated from Hassan and Destiny and Ethan. That's why he starts saying that they're all the same, because he wants to like conflate like things that are not even close to similar. But I really don't think that it comes from like I think it comes from a selfish a selfish reasoning, but I don't think that it's necessarily just because he felt like scorned by not getting promo. I genuinely think that he wants to come across as like this above it all, better than thou dickhead. And they said it pretty aptly, another pathetic Jake Doolittle, and I think that part is true, that it's just like, it's almost like hopping on a bandwagon at some point. Ryan Weird has a superiority complex. That's what I mean. I've never spoken out about his content because his content is generally like, you know, it's not like there's anything I have a problem with in the content itself, but it's his presentation that I've always had somewhat of an issue with, because he likes to play this like he wants to seem as though he's calling the crap out. But in reality, it's like you're literally doing the worst kind of fence sitting. We need Jake Doolittle to jump back in the fray. That'd be kind of an interesting little sight to see. To be fair, Ryan Beard and Jake Doolittle, I think, do post like seldomly. They post like every couple months or something. So he might be coming back with something. We never know. Yes, it's a superiority complex. He's not like the rest of us idiots, LMAO. Yeah, and I don't know how you build a fan base off of that. I guess it's other people that feel like these just feel enlightened. I was about to say enlightened centrist, but it's not even centrist a lot of the time. It is just enlightened, trying to feel better than other people. But Mr. Beard blatantly lies in Papa's chat. So the song is not about Ethan, by the way. It's a parody of David talking about murder in his songs. I was only slightly referencing him. I also make fun of Hassan. It's not about Ethan. He used the fucking Top Hat Shredder memorial tattoo image, and he's like, "Oh no, it's not about Ethan." Why lie? Just why lie? Oh, it is about Ethan, but I'm just doing like, and that's the other part. Is it's just like the part that's so lost on me is why do this on a video about Celeste? I think we should stop even just saying, because the thing that's getting it clicks is calling it David, putting David in all the titles, everyone talking about David. No one's really caring about this little girl that was murdered. And he did this in the same way of just showing, all of the different times that he talked about it in music, all of these little subtleties in his songs and things. And it's like, it's the same thing that like Trapalore Ross did. And I wonder if he just sourced Trapalore Ross's videos to make his own, like genuinely. Because it's just like, I don't know, it really is just disgusting to add this weird, like, even let's even just say it has nothing to do with Hassan, or it has nothing to do, even if it was wholly on Hassan and the shot caller, it would still be weird to add it to this video about Celeste. It would be weird. And like beyond that, if it was about both of Hassan and Ethan, it's just so out of place in this topic. It's so weird. Yeah, only slightly referencing him too is crazy. Like he apparently he said like one or two lines about the shot collar when the rest of the song is literally about eating cheese and using images of Yorkies and fucking, like, come on. I think he's infallible, which gives him permission to patronize and denigrate others. So true. Ryan Beard has always seemed like a H Bomber guy copy, just less entertaining. Apparently, he started off as a Bo Burnham clone, and people realized that he's not funny like Bo Burnham, and he's just making songs, and people didn't like it as much. And I think this is kind of the, I mean, this is kind of the pinnacle of that, right? It shows the highest form of people disagreeing with his music abilities. He's all right. He can play the piano. He did it blindfolded too. Wow. But then Ryan, and then again also said that it's not about Ethan, then went on to make this post, which he deleted. Yes, Shredder died of kidney disease, and Ethan said himself on his podcast that the high sodium content in cheese can lead to kidney disease if you feed too much of it to small dogs. I'm pretty sure this part also isn't, I don't think this is necessarily true. It can exacerbate kidney disease, because when you have kidney disease, you can't break down like the different stuff inside of the cheese. But I don't know if I mean, this is kind of just a stretch, but okay, because this is almost implying that Ethan knew it beforehand and was just like, haha, feeding the dog cheese, who cares? It's fine to feed dogs cheese in proper amounts, but feeding small dogs too much cheese can be dangerous for them, which Ethan himself admitted on the podcast. I didn't claim with 100% certainty that feeding the cheese is definitely what killed this dog. Nobody claimed that that's what you were doing. We're saying that you're being insensitive to both Ethan losing his dog and also to Celeste and her family by adding this into this video. That's what we're saying. I didn't claim with 100% certainty that feeding the cheese is definitely what killed this dog. Maybe the kidney disease was unrelated to the cheese. Yeah, probably. As Ethan said in multiple times that Alfredo also has eaten cheese and doesn't have any kidney issues. But we'll get into that in a minute. I just made a subtle jab at Ethan, making a full song saying my dog died. Oh, I didn't kill my dog. I've just been feeding him cheese and having all these dreams about feeding him cheese, killing him. But he died in real life and all of this. Like, you're such a fucking dude. Come on. I made a subtle jab. Subtle. Again, subtle. This guy's such a tool. Like, actually such a tool. Subtle. I made a subtle jab at Ethan because I don't think he deserves to be made fun of. Because I do think he deserves to be made fun of for his negligent treatment of his dog. Here's the thing. I think people deserve to be called out on negligent treatment of animals, but just making jokes about it in general also isn't like the way to handle it. Like, that isn't calling him out or like, you know, making some point about like you're literally making light of it. Maybe the kidney disease was unrelated. Oh, sorry, I already read that part. It's your responsibility as a pet owner to properly research what is and isn't healthy to feed your dog. You all know that if Hassan did the exact same thing with his dog, Ethan would never stop talking about it. Don't think that's true at all. I don't think Ethan would ever speak like down on Hassan for like the death of his dogs. Like in those instances of looking at him pulling his old dog's tail and stuff like that, he didn't make a single claim about the dog like at all. It was literally just about pointing out and calling out, not making light of the things that were poor treatment of the pets. And also, like, here's my whole thing, right? Even if somebody did something, was in some way negligent, let's just say that, and their dog passes away, it really does depend on the level of negligence. And like, I don't know, negligence is just such a loaded word, because yes, like, you cannot consider something and it happens. That does not mean that you were like acting negligently, and I don't know, it's just such a, because legitimately people do stuff all the times not thinking about it, and their dogs end up dying, and it's so sad and it's terrible and it breaks people's hearts and crushes people, and I would find it disgusting to at any point like make jokes about it, because you can call people out, yeah, and be like, well, you realize you shouldn't be leaving the rat poison out for your dog to come find, right? Like, that's probably not a good idea. Like, something like that, sure. But being like, you gave him too much cheese. I honestly think Ryan just wanted to make a parody song. He wanted to make a parody song and couldn't think of anything, like any other like thing to talk about in the song. So he's like, well, I don't know. And also, it's just like, it depends on the type of music, because I don't know, it's like there's songs about all types of stuff, just pointing out, like, wouldn't it be weird if he was talking about his dog instead of killing a person? I'm sure there are songs about killing dogs. And I'm sure, yes, some people point out that they're weird, other people don't care. I'm sure that's what it is. And they are weird. It is weird to sing about killing people. Yeah. It's such like a non-starter. I don't get it. But you all need to take the L and back down, and bro deleted this post too. You all need to take the L and back down, because it is obviously bad that Ethan didn't do the proper research in crafting his dog's diet. And you are all acting as like massive hypocrites for acting like Hassan is the most evil dog owner of all time, while ignoring Ethan's behavior. Literally acting as though actively shocking your dog out of frustration is the same as giving your dog cheese sometimes. Yeah, putting it in a vid about a murdered child is extra fucked up. That's what I'm saying. Is it's just like, it, even if this wasn't about Hassan or Ethan or any of this, I still think making this weird parody song is in poor taste. It's just in poor taste in general. And then we just have an extra layer to add on top of it of your of you being insensitive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's so weird. And I don't understand how he keeps trying to just wiggle his way around it. He thinks he's being cute for real. I feel so vindicated for not watching this guy, because his hair gave me bad vibes. I have to say, if you have long hair, you can't do the split part ponytail. And if you do the split part, you can't tuck it behind your... Okay, if you do the split part and you tuck it behind your ears, you can't have it come in front of your shoulders. You have to push it behind your shoulders. It'll look good, I'm telling you. And I would recommend not doing middle part ponytail. If you're going to do ponytail, you have to kind of comb it all back to have a double side part, so that the ponytail, so it looks like a more full head of hair, because it'll start pulling on the middle part and create the Red Sea, Moses parting. But yeah, it is I always got just bad vibes for him on the way that he talks, the way that he scripts his videos. There's just something about it. But again, it's like the content itself didn't seem that bad until it's like, okay. And it sucks to say. It does suck to say. Because maybe there was more stuff and I've just never watched his content enough. Because I'm telling you, the few times I've put on his videos, I've turned them off relatively quickly, purely because I get a bad vibe. And I think I need to start calling out bad vibes more. I'm a good vibe meter. I can see it, I can call it out, and you guys can know and tell me that I'm wrong. And then we can come to some kind of agreement there in the middle. It's the hair color. Be careful with blonde men. Love is in the clear, lol. So true. I guess that is part of it. I don't know though. Having brown hair with a part, the scalp color might show up even more. It might make a more distinguishable, like, harsh line. Middle part ponytail is whack. It's giving like shitty history teacher. I think it seems like he wait, sorry. And to be clear, I also made fun of Hassan in this song by referencing how he potentially shocks his dog. And based on the evidence available, I think it seems like he does. To me, it seems like both Hassan and Ethan are bad dog owners. And if you're super offended that I made fun of both of them, you can cope and seethe. Honestly, cool, I will cope and seethe because I genuinely do think if you had made fun of Hassan in the same context on this video about Celeste, it would have been in poor taste. If the whole thing, the whole song was about shitting on Hassan, shocking his dog, and you added that to the video about a little girl's murder, that would still be in poor taste. Bro's always been performative and pretentious. And like, that's the thing. I know I have biases. You got to know you have a bias. You really do. And you got to be able to contend with it and like try and argue and have introspection. But when you're really like willing to double down, triple down, delete the doubling and tripling down, but then leave the video up, like be more self-aware. He's the one coping and seething as a social blade tank. So true. Ryan's middle part looks like a cracked open door that leads to a light hallway. Oh my god. Great stuff. Just try and be self-aware. Like, just attempt, please. No, that's my thing. Is it's like it's this level of cognitive dissonance because here's the thing. If he was smart here. He added it to just the beginning and the end of the video. Just the beginning and the end. Cut it out. Cut it out of the video. Delete all the stuff about it. Be like, hey, it was in poor taste. I wasn't thinking about it. We're still going to shit on you. We're still going to be upset about it. But at least you can try and save face in like a better way. Because like legitimately, this is just the worst way. I've never liked him. He's got a weird insecure vibe. I'm not at all surprised he did this weird shit. A part of me wonders if he was bullied into making that, since it doesn't really align with his typical content. You'd think he'd drop something on Bad Empanada. I don't know. He apparently was talking to Bad Empanada. I was trying to find the DMs of them talking, and it didn't seem that interesting, to be completely honest. It just seems like, honestly, you could just... you could literally get Ryan Beard to agree with anything in the moment, because it seems like at every point, he doesn't want to be genuine. He wants to try and find some concession that you can make to like draw you into his side. And it is shown like in his when I was looking for the post, I saw this. Or it wasn't on this. Maybe it was on the Reddit? Maybe it wasn't on Reddit. It was something about coming together. Maybe it was a tweet from the Reddit. Maybe that is where I saw it. I think I added it. Oh yeah, this one. This was back last month. Ryan said, "It's time to get serious. The time for leftist infighting is done. The time for petty arguments and drama between leftists and liberals is done. Fuck Donald Trump. I am an anti-fascist. Anyone who is also against fascism is my ally. We have to set aside our differences and unite right now. We can't afford not to." This is just such like a fucking... This is a nothing burger. We need to get along. No shit. The whole problem is the issues that divide. And obviously that division is sown by the elites. And that's why like we need to find those things that we agree upon. But just saying, drop it. The infighting is done. Like, yeah, I think that we should align in opposition to an agreed goal, or in opposition to an agreed threat, I guess, or an agreed in opposition to an agreed opposition. But that doesn't mean that you should just turn away from all of the things that you disagree on, because there are authoritarian leftists. That's just how it works. Like, I just don't. Him acting like he's the king of the left or something. Bro, no one knows you. No, legitimately, this is like the point though, is that he just thinks he's better than people. He really does. He thinks that he's like on some pedestal above and can speak down to the masses and tell them the truth. He is the movement. It's giving Vaush. I always say, is it Vaush? 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 I like Vaush. Sounds cooler. I think it's Vaush, but Vaush. I thought we would all be able to agree animal abuse is bad. Hassan is an authoritarian leftist. No, exactly. And that's why it's like, it's just so dumb. I thought we would all be able to agree on animal abuse is bad. And that's the thing, is he's trying to be like, well, we should all agree animal abuse is bad. All animal abuse is bad. As if the whole thing is, I almost did a Mr. Mackey. It's all bad, okay? But, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what he's trying to do, is be like, come together, guys. You don't see that you're fighting because of these two people that you like. But they're equally as bad, even though the two things that he's saying are similar or completely different. Says bare minimum to appease. It doesn't actually get the experiences of other people. No, exactly. And it is just the bare minimum. But then him and Ethan had a little back and forth in DMs. Ryan Beard thinks it's funny and reasonable to make me relitigate the most heartbreaking and painful loss of my first dog, Shredder. He thinks it belongs in the same video about someone murdering a child and stuffing them in a trunk. Sorry. Super funny new video. I love the part where you joked about me killing my dog. And then Ryan replied, I think it's totally reasonable. Again, I think it's totally reasonable to poke fun at you for being negligent and not properly researching what you should be feeding your dog, which you admitted to yourself in your stream, where you said that you wish the vet would have told you that too much cheese is dangerous for the kidneys of small dogs. You and I both know that if Hassan did the exact same thing, you would never shut up about it. I like that he's trying to double down on that, because it's just not true. Like, Ethan has always said that he treats pets like children. And I don't think that he would just, like, give that up to shit on somebody else for their pet. But Ethan just replied to that, K. And then he felt the need to respond, because it was like, you can't just leave it at K. I do feel like Ethan did the right thing by keeping it going for a minute, because I hope Snark enjoys your video, bro. Good luck. And then, again, he wants to just seem like he's above it all. Fuck Snark. I think they're pieces of shit. You can't just use Snark guilt by association to dodge all accountability. Just like Destiny couldn't blame Snark to dodge you bringing up him having CP on his computer. You are basically accusing me of killing my child as holding me accountable. That's insane. That's it. Bye. I think you were negligent I think you were a negligent pet owner. And this is what again, this holier than thou, like, better than you, like, mentality. I think they're pieces of shit. You can't just use Snark guilt by association to dodge all accountability. Like, dude, it's literally a Snark talking point that is untrue. I don't judge how other parents raise their kids unless their kids are lacking basic needs or getting hurt. Same for pets. Even though I feel more empathy for animals than people. I mean, like, legitimately, I just think about, like, we could make it like a family member. If someone's child dies, it really does depend on, like, what was happening. It's all about context. It literally is all about the nuance. Because someone's child dies, you don't just go, oh, why'd your kid die? You're a piece of shit. You should have been taking him to the doctor. You should have done more. But yeah, if they weren't doing anything when their kid was having, like, heart problems or, like, couldn't breathe and they were just letting them rot, like, yeah, that's disgusting and that should be called out. But do you see how those two things are nowhere near similar to each other? Like, it just, like, some kid passing away because of, like, maybe, like, a medical malfeasance or something. Because like, why not blame the doctor or something? Being like, you said you asked the doctor didn't tell you. You said the doctor didn't. The doctor didn't tell you that cheese can be bad for small dogs. That almost implies that you know that he did do some level of research. But then Ethan continues, I saw what you told Bad Empanada too. Very nice friends you have. Snark and Bad Empanada are loving your content, brother. More guilt by association. Well, I mean, dog, it's like, you were just quite literally like, you can't just yell out guilt by association to dodge as well. Like, that's not how it works. It's not just guilt by association. It's the point that you literally were having conversation with Bad Empanada in which you did talk shit about Ethan. And then, like, you made a video in which you poke fun at the death of someone's dog, as well as making light of a situation in which a little girl died, was murdered. Dog food has cheese in it a lot of the time. I mean, it's quite literally just not bad for dogs. Can it be bad for dogs? Yes, like the same way that fucking feeding your dog a bunch of anything can be bad for it. Like, yes, it can be bad. Don't let your dog eat the fucking full block of cheese. I would hope some of you would understand that. But literally, I've just seen so many people talking about the cheese tax. Who doesn't know about the cheese tax? So, you're dense. Have you ever owned a dog? Because I've spoken about this before, and I'll speak about it here. I feel this personally because I too had lost a dog at one point. And I do consider it to be for my own, like, because of my own negligence. We didn't lose him in the way of him dying, but we did end up having to give him up to the Humane Society so that they could do surgery on him because he had a problem with eating rocks. We had a rocked backyard, and so we had to take him out every time he would go poop and watch him. And I was a kid, so there became a time where you take him out enough and you just thought, oh, well, now he knows not to do it. Like, he's not even licking on these rocks. He doesn't seem to care. And then it happened a second time, and that's when we had to give him up because he ate a rock once and we were able to get the surgery, but then he did it again and we had to give him up to the Humane Society. And then they healed him and then sold him to somebody else. And it's a very like sad thing, and I do take some like weight for the trouble that he went through, and I feel terrible about it. I feel terrible about what happened. But if someone came and tried to make fun of me or make light of it or make a joke or try and make it like it was an intentional or like malicious thing that I did, dog, it's hands. Like, it's hands. Like, sorry, like it's just not something. It's just not something to joke about. It's just not. They're pretending eating cheese is the same thing as eating salt on a spoonful of dumb idiot morons. Well, like I'm saying, like legitimately, my dog would eat rocks. But if someone made like a thing about me feeding my dog rocks or something, it's hands. Like, that's it. Fade on sight. But yeah, it's just, you know, if I remember correctly, it was the dismissiveness of the first vet, right? They ignored the symptoms and didn't run any further diagnostic, exacerbating the cause to the point of permanent damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why Ethan was upset, was because the doctors, he felt like it was like almost like a medical malfeasance of some kind. Ad hominem and poisoning of the well are bad faith. My dog shares my kefir in the morning. It gets all over her face and is the cutest fucking thing. But yeah, should have got a shock collar. So true. I should have got him the shock collar so he wouldn't have eaten rocks. My God, you're right. That's the thing. I've cried about my dog many times, so I feel a little bit more open to talk about it and speak on it and stuff. But like, this happened to Ethan not that long ago. I lost my dog when I was I think I might have still been in middle school, or no. I don't think I had reached high school yet. I don't know. I wasn't like super young, but we had him when I was a bit younger. But legitimately, it's just like a thing. Sometimes bad things happen, and you deal with them in the ways that you can as a loving and caring guardian. I read a comment from a younger fan who lost their puppy to underdeveloped kidneys. Can't imagine having to watch someone you're a fan of rip apart a dude for something that also happened to you. I knew as soon as I saw his video, Ethan would flip his shit and we all would be pissed off too. I mean, it's legitimately just, it is in such poor taste. You are, like, Ryan, you are a bad person. This is insensitive to Celeste. This is insensitive to her family. And on a lesser level, it's insensitive to Ethan for the loss of his dog. And even if you were to make the entire song about Hassan, it would still be insensitive to Celeste and her family. I don't think it would have been as insensitive to Hassan because of the circumstances surrounding the whole situation, but to do it specifically about a dog that has died, like we're saying. I mean, even though, like, making light of the situation with the shot collar, like, I haven't been liking all of the memes everybody's been making of him shocking her. I liked the one of her shocking him. That was funny. But a lot of people are making memes of like him shocking her over and over again, like in different stuff, and it's like that's not funny to me. That's not like an entertaining thing. Oh, isn't that crazy? Whoa, isn't that so wacky and crazy? It's fucking stupid. He still attacks me. Okay, but let me continue. Sorry. More guilt by association. I obviously hate Bad Empanada. No one has directed more hate at me than him. He still attacks me regularly. That doesn't mean I won't have a conversation with him. It should. That's stupid of you. No one has directed more harassment at me than him. He still attacks me regularly. That doesn't mean I won't have a conversation with him. I'm also not a fan of your friend Dan Saltman, but I was also willing to have similar conversations with him. Anyway, at this point, I think you, Hassan, and Destiny are all egotistical douches, and I don't want anything to do with it. Oh, accidentally highlighted the page. And here's, again, I'm sorry I have to spell it all out. I'm not saying every single one of the memes people were making was bad. That's not the point I'm making. What I'm saying is things are done in poor taste. And we need to realize when we're doing it in poor taste versus making a clever joke. There are ways to joke about everything. There is. You can joke about anything. You truly can. But it is all about the circumstances and the way that you do. And this joke, this playful little ribbing is placed in a horrible context in this video. Like, just literally. And then Ethan finished it off by making a post saying, "So I'll say it once for Ryan Beard and anyone else interested in using this tragic loss as a weapon against me. 1. In a state of grief and vulnerability, I expressed guilt for feeding my dog Cheese and lamenting if this had anything to do with the kidney disease that ultimately took him. In my grief, I felt an outsized sense of guilt, despite Cheese being totally fine for dogs to eat. Importantly, our other dog, Alfredo, who is the same age, size, and diet as Shredder, is perfectly healthy with no kidney issues. I even did extensive lab work on him after Shredder's diagnosis to ensure there weren't any habits that contributed to kidney damage. His kidneys were operating perfectly normal then and now. We and the doctors don't know why he developed kidney disease at age 5. The most likely explanation is that it was a tragic genetic inevitability, which is why I encourage everyone to squeeze and love their pets and family because you just never know. These type of insane and cruel accusations have only come from snark communities with the transparent goal of hurting me. Ryan is the only person to actually try and legitimize this cruelty by including it in a video essay about the murder of a child and canonize it as a reasonable criticism against me. Rip to my beloved Shredder, who I loved like my own." And honestly, I think Ethan maybe should have added this in there, and rest in peace to Celeste, because honestly, this is taking a lot of the light away from the conversation of Celeste. And I feel like his video, again, his video isn't the fucking best video ever. It's literally just, he is saying stuff, oh yeah, he likes gore. See, we should have known. Shouldn't we have known about all the stuff he said? Oh look, Turkey Tom made videos about it too.
I guess you could say is kind of like a form of art. The Zodiac Killer famously turned his murders into a sort of game by sending out ciphers for people to solve. So I don't.
Oh, he's also just stupid. This video is just bad. It was a pointless thing to add into this video. That was fucking stupid. This video is just bad too. Cool. Fucking hell. My God. Okay. Ryan Beard is exploiting what was clearly a bargaining stage of grief. I thought this was an interesting point, and I think is exactly what it was too. First of all, Ethan did nothing wrong. Shredder had a pre-existing condition, and if anyone was negligent, it was the vet. In addition, Ethan sharing details about feelings of guilt. I could have done more. Maybe it was the cheese. I wish I took him to another vet. These are all normal parts of grief. Again, comparing it to the Destiny and Hassan situation is ridiculous. Ethan sharing his feelings while mourning has been labeled as an admission of some kind. Normal people just use their brains and understand this, and most people did at the time. Ryan is doubling down and trying to justify to save his credibility. He was supposedly the logical, researched, concise guy, and now we see that he's no better than Noah Samson. Ryan, you're a bad person, and it's beyond fucked up to say that there was negligence going on. If you're actually genuine in this belief, you're just a judgmental asshole who weaponizes trauma. And yeah, this was a very eloquently put. Shout out Puzzlehead _age 5068. Oh, sorry, Puzzleheaded _age 5068. Gotta give him a shout out. And that's the little post we saw. And here's an example of some more negligence of Hassan. If we want to talk about dog negligence, pet owner negligence. Apparently he wears diapers. I have heard that. I have heard that before, but I don't know if that's true. I cannot claim anything I don't know for sure. Don't know for certainty. Ryan hid his comment in his YouTube video. Yeah, he hid the comment and deleted the post he made doubling down. So he's literally backtracking, but he won't just do like honestly, like I said, if he deletes it, he could literally go into YouTube editor right now, cut out the beginning and the end of that video. People are still going to be pissed off and talking shit, but it at least shows that maybe you understand that like it was just not a good time, not a good point. Because like I'm saying, beyond any of it, I don't like beyond it being Ethan's dog. This putting it in this video about Celeste is so fucking wrong. It's wrong. I'm a puzzle-headed head. So true. Wait, what? Excuse me? Wait, what? Excuse me for what? For what parts? JH Cruz. But here's more negligence and or animal abuse by Hassan, aka Timu Michael Vick. Kaya ends up in a fight with another streamer's dog over a piece of chicken that the streamers thought was a swell idea to leave on the floor for them to compete over. Good job, cameraman. Why did you start filming it at all? Like, move the camera away. Don't start showing it. Be like, whoa. I don't even. Oh my god. I don't even mean like as like a. Don't show it on Twitch. Like you don't show it because it'll be bad if people see it. I legitimately just mean like don't show it to your audience. You just hit her? Oh, he just ripped them off of each other. I have to say too, Hassan didn't jump in quick enough. I'm sorry, bro. You got to get a little bloody. Two dogs are attacking each other. You rip your arm in there. You start pulling them off. You got to. Yeah, El Cameraman.
It's my chicken.
Nobody gets it now.
Okay, now I really want it spot after. Yeah, maybe we should put it on the counter.
Yeah, we're gonna put this.
I knew the chicken was gonna be a problem. I was telling Cutie.
Timmy, very good.
Well, I was going to say, he clearly doesn't care about it too much, because here's an instance when Hassan wants to get Kaya to get bitten by another dog.
I don't know if putting them in a confined space like this together is a good idea, but we're about to see very quickly. She will most likely recognize. She will very quickly learn that that's probably a mistake. Because if she keeps pushing Fiona, Fiona is going to bite. Oh, there we go. Good job, Fiona.
PvP.
You fucking tell her. One thing I will tell you, I've seen her. Kaya is really funny when she's scared. Being scared, but it gives me anxiety. Maybe it's me. No, I want her to bite her. What do you mean? That they had to chop it.
Did they put the chicken there on purpose, though? That does seem to be a bit of speculation from the poster. I don't know for sure. Like, we don't see when they put it down. But they did say afterwards, let's put it on the counter, which almost makes me feel like maybe they did just leave it out. But I mean, if there's dogs around, you should know not to just leave your food sitting there. So that's a little key on them. If people are just leaving their food around with
Fiona
dogs.
wants out. She's not getting out, though. Fiona snaps at her. She'll just go, ah, 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 and like run away. Run.
His dog whimpering and running in fear is funny to him. It's comical.
Run away like a fucking goofball crying. It's the funniest thing on the fucking planet. She needs to learn. See? See? She wants out.
Children.
Teaching dogs discipline through hierarchies like this is not good, because once this dog gets old, I know they're not like living together, but once this dog, if they were, and this dog gets old and Kaya gets bigger and stronger and is younger, she would eat this dog. I've seen it happen. You don't let dogs do this and like claim territory over each other. It's poor parenting. It is poor pet parenting. And keeping them in a confined space like this is only going to agitate both dogs. It is going to piss them both off, because they're both going to feel like they're being pushed together, and it's going to cause anxiety and like enrage them if you know, one starts impeding on the other's space.
Did you see that? I want you guys to see what happens when she actually gets scared. It's so fucking funny.
How do you feel about the Israeli genocide support you were doing before?
Well, what the fuck was that added in for? I was gonna say, why is Asmongold even here? Yeah, none of it is positive reinforcement, like at all, in any way. I read it as they put that there on purpose to provoke the dogs to fight, which would be terrible. I mean, that's how it reads, but I do feel like that's a bit of speculation on the poster's part. They could have just done it like without thinking the dogs were gonna fight, just being like, let's see who goes for it. Let's see, oh, maybe they'll play tug of war for it, not realizing that when it's real food, dogs want to eat. If it was an accident, it's still negligence, but not as bad as the wording makes it seem. No, definitely. And like I'm saying, it would be more so on the people just leaving their food around with the dogs there. If I was Hassan, I'd be pissed at them. But he didn't. Again, he doesn't seem to care that much when his dog's getting bitten. She's tough. Yeah, but to call it funny too, it's like, bro, what is wrong with you? I got a tetanus shot that day. Oh, wait, what day? I didn't see. Oh, I snatched my cat from a German Shepherd one time when I was a kid, and my cat turned around and bit a chunk of my face off. I was like 11 and didn't know better. My instinct was to save my pet. No, exactly. It's like you kind of just jump to it, I feel like. Like it's kind of like the first thing you're like, whoa. Like I also saw someone mention on the subreddit that he never does positive reinforcement, like never gives her a good girl or a treat or do something right, just punishment if bad. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any instance. And the thing is people were saying like, this one moment of Hassan maybe using a shot collar is completely outweighed by all of the times of him giving her love and saying how cute she is. And that's the other thing too, is how many of those clips of him like fawning over her are him actually fawning over her versus fawning about her. Being like, she's so cute, guys. Hey guys, look, isn't my prop piece so cute in the back? Like, how much of it is actually him being like, oh, I love you, good girl. Like, has Hassan ever done that voice? Has Hassan ever gone, oh, baby, oh, I love you? If he hasn't, then he's a bad pet owner. Straight up. Word to my mother. Thanks. He was declawed, so I was extra worried. He lived a long time and died of old age. That's good. That pen is too small for 2 dogs. I mean, especially, I mean, this bed is too small. The pen is too small. This also makes me think that somebody else is here. I don't know whose dog this is, but this almost makes me think that like somebody else is here that could be watching the dogs. I don't know. It is just, and like the thing is too, like I understand some dogs are crate trained. Some dogs, there's different trainings for different types of animals. Hassan doesn't seem like he's doing any of these kind of training and is just throwing together whatever fits his like momentary needs. Hassan got a dog for the same reason men lie about being a single dad, to get sympathetic pussy, in my opinion. Fair. I mean, isn't that why Hassan does everything? I broke a fight once. A stray dog attacked my brother's dog, and everyone yelled at me for doing it, but what the fuck, should I just let the dogs kill each other? Some people don't get the vibe. No, literally. I mean, you gotta do something. They're not, like, one's going to kill the other. That's what's going to happen. When, like, especially when they're evenly sized, like, one dog is going to kill the other dog because that is what they're attempting to do. Or at least, like, I guess it depends on, like, again, if they have a hierarchy already, they can, like, break the hierarchy and then they bite the shit out of the older dog for a minute and then the dog submits. But again, it's like, then you just have a pressed older dog or pressed younger dog that's thinking that it's hot shit. I miss your hair, huh? It'll grow back. Not soon, though. We have a month. We have the rest of this month. We have 15 days to get through, and then I'm going to let it grow. And then by the end of November, I bet you it'll be at least... We'll probably be like here by the end of November, I'd assume. My hair grows pretty quickly. Maybe I'll try and do mini spikes once it grows out a little bit. That's the only way I talked to my dog. Yesterday, I talked to the dog like that, and she got so excited and ran over to me. No, exactly. You're supposed to love on your dogs. Okay, but that's basically the end of what I wanted to talk about. Was there anything else topical? I know there was one video that can't come out that someone had made about Hassan, but I think I'm going to save that until Friday because I have one. What I'm trying to do is towards the end of the streams from now on, I want to start adding in videos that I can upload as reaction, something that isn't as long, that can kind of go on for a second. So I have 2 things that we can look at. This one I just thought was really kind of an interesting title. From Rhett and Link. He just dropped this 5 hours ago. Am I afraid of hell? What do you guys think? Is Rhett afraid of hell? Or wife discovers husband's secret life as a fake cop. I think I'm going to watch this one first. I might watch this one. I might save it for Friday. But then there was another video that I want to save for Friday. Sorry, I keep pulling up more and more things.
Is it loaded fire?
Oh, did I not save it? Wait. Oh, wait, now I'm confused. No. These are my liked videos for sure. There we go.
Making this video to succinctly describe.
This video is just an hour and 20 minutes, so I think I'm going to save this until Friday, but this video came out. It's why I don't watch Hasanabi anymore, and it's the thumbnail was like, it was like something about Hassan cells or something like that. The fake cop story is great. We can do the fake cop story then. I love Good Mythical Morning, but I love true crime even more. See, I might do both, but I might save this one. I don't know. We'll see where we go. But we'll do this. Wife discovers husband's secret life is a fake cop from Iwu body cam. Let's see.
Mr. Correct. So you're not under arrest right now? Over to Yes, sir. Wow. Probably not the best idea to be wearing a vest, armed, possible criminal impersonation of a police officer.
I'm a retired Baltimore City.
Okay.
27 years.
He's a convicted felon. He wouldn't be retiring 4 years ago.
I'll never understand why people lie in these instances. Like, there's two things I will never understand. Lying to the cops and fighting back. Like, lie through omission. Don't lie. Don't straight up lie, because they're going to catch you in the lie. Just don't tell them the stuff you don't want to tell them. But legitimately, I will never understand fighting back on the cops. You think they're just going to let you go? They're not going to let you go. They put handcuffs on you. The few people they do let go after putting handcuffs on them, it usually doesn't end that well for them. They usually hear about it later.
I'm speechless.
When a police officer in Bremerton, Washington arrives to a call and finds a man dressed as a law enforcement officer already on the scene, things quickly take a turn for...
Just about every ICE agent should be arrested for impersonating Leos. Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. The problem with it is I think theoretically you could probably arrest them on like state laws or something, but since it's like federally mandated, or you know what I mean, they probably have some workarounds that could make it that make it legal. You know, they do all the illegal stuffs in, you know, under the law.
For the bizarre. Suspicious that the man may be impersonating a police officer, authorities soon discover that while he doesn't have any legitimate police credentials, he does have a record.
Criminal impersonation, the first degree. That's a felony.
Yes.
What? All right, okay.
The following is based on official police records. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On the evening of September 4th, 2025, an officer with the Bremerton Police Department responds to a call that a fire has been set in a parking garage across from the Salvation Army. As he arrives, a Ford Explorer, similar to an unmarked police vehicle, pulls in behind him. The vehicle has blue interior emergency lights on. Not recognizing the man in the vehicle as fellow law enforcement, the officer follows him over to the Salvation Army parking lot.
Were you on the phone with him? They asked us to come outside. I thought it was for you.
Who asked us to come outside?
I don't know. He's on the phone with him.
No, I thought I was pulled over because I thought you guys needed help with that.
Oh no, no, we thought no. I'm confused right now, man. This is my first day back in a while, so.
I thought you were like one of our detectives at first.
I know some of the guys work with the task force.
The man is working as security for the Salvation Army, hired by Stephen Group International. However, much of the gear he wears, including a silver police badge that reads detective, a ballistic vest, and a duty belt, indicate that he's in law enforcement. The man identifies himself just as Scaletta and claims he previously worked with the Thurston Sheriff's Office, but transferred to the Edmonds Police Department, where he says he's been a detective for the past 2 years.
I know a lot of detectives from Edmonds.
I mean, you know, like a cop is just looking him up and down and going, yeah, this ain't right. Something's off. Maybe it's his hair.
Yeah.
From the gang network and stuff like that. The anti-narcotics training on base every year.
Yeah.
I started with robbery and now with the gang intelligence.
Dang, it's pretty hardcore.
The officer soon leaves Scaletta to his security guard duties, but something about the strange interaction doesn't sit quite right. He makes a report, and the next morning, on September 5th, a different Bremerton officer heads to the Salvation Army just as Scaletta is finishing his overnight shift.
So you work for Edmonds PD?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a part-time gig.
I got you. Do you have your commission card with you?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Give me mod, please. My messages keep getting filtered. You know what, Fupa Troopa, you got it. Give me a sec.
No, didn't find it?
Sorry? No, he's going to, it's in my other bag.
Oh, okay.
He's grabbing it.
I'm going to just keep calling it Russian. Thank you for the $2 Russian. I know it's not.
No.
Okay,
I
how long have you been
apologize.
working for the Salvation Army?
Sorry?
How long have you been working off duty for the Salvation Army?
I'm here almost every other week.
Every other week?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I also work down at the KRM.
Okay. And what's your full name?
Now, Fupa Trooper, you better not be saying slurs in here. You have mod capabilities now.
Mezzi Scaletta.
As Scoletta's co-worker heads inside to find his bag and supposedly his commission card, another Bremerton officer arrives.
Is it a loaded firearm that you have with you, Mr. Scaletta?
Correct.
Okay, can you put your hands on the car, please? I'm not familiar with the retention of this holster. Just keep your hands right there.
Can we not do this in front of everybody? I mean, really?
Yeah.
You're doing just fine keeping your hands
Okay,
on
yeah.
I appreciate it.
problem, man.
The officer removes Scoletta's firearm and finds that the magazine is empty.
So you're not under arrest right now?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Can you call my...
Yeah, we
Okay, he's just putting his arm on him. I thought he was about to rip the SWAT badge off.
can take care of all that.
Yeah.
We can take care of all that. We can make all the phone calls that needs to be done with that. All right.
More Bremerton officers arrive just as Scoletta's co-worker reappears with his bag.
So,
His credentials?
okay. In the front.
What agency do you think you're with?
Edmonds?
You're with Edmonds.
Edmonds, yes.
Do you understand you're just being detained?
I understand the whole process. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
The officers check the bag, but
I'm sure you do understand the process, buddy. But you ain't the one normally doing the arrests, let's be honest.
fail to find a commission card or any law enforcement credentials.
I love that he's packed up like he's actually going out for the day. He's like on the job.
They do, however, find an empty badge holder, similar to the kind plainclothes officers wear. This is only the beginning of their unsettling discoveries.
So first off, if you are a commissioned police officer in this state, you'll be taken out of cuffs, and I will formally apologize.
Thank you.
Okay?
No, no problem.
All right. You're uniformed and armed when we came across you. That's an accurate statement. So the concern is, especially because we weren't given notification, right?
I'm not operating. I'm not working. I'm not.
Well, here's the problem with that.
leaving.
Well, it's Mezzi, right?
Correct.
Here's the problem with that. You're leaving. Even if you're leaving, Salvation Army, this is the #1 crime hotspot in the entire city for us.
I know this.
Let me
Okay, I'm a retired Baltimore City.
Okay.
27 years. I come out here.
Then
Okay,
let
you
me
know what I mean?
talk.
I get it.
Then let me.
If you're retired, what you got all this for, huh?
I'm sorry.
I think we're getting our wires crossed a little bit, because what I'm trying to get you to understand is, I understand that you're just leaving if you're off duty. But if you know that this is the highest...
Oh, that blinking though. Watch this blinking. How many blinks per second is this?
I understand that you're just leaving if you're off duty. But if you know that this is the highest crime area, right? If you know this is the highest crime area in the city, and you know that that's likely to do with your law enforcement experience, and we're going to be in the area, probably not the best idea to be wearing a vest, armed, going to and from, because it's going to make us think some things, up to and including possible criminal impersonation of a police officer. That's why you're detained. We get all that checked out, and you...
It almost seems like if this guy had been a retired police officer and he was going out dressed like, it almost seems like they would have let him go. Like that's almost the way this conversation is sounding right here. Like he's just letting him know, like, you can't be going out in your vest. You can't. Like I'm feeling kind of weird about this whole conversation right now.
You know what? Sure. This might be an error for their bosses and our bosses.
Was he trying to get paid as private security and pretending to be a cop too? I have seen some like security officers do that, where they wear like, the get up trying to look official, but usually they don't have actual badges or anything they're trying to put on.
So we might have called Edmonds last night.
The sheriff?
What?
We might have called Edmonds PD last night.
Yeah.
Not on the payroll.
Say it again?
You're not on the payroll with Edmonds PD.
Is it okay if I go through this?
Yes, please.
the
Get
financial-
and then I can...
While some of the officers continue the search for anything that can verify Scoletta's claims, the others are eager to discuss the bizarre situation among themselves. Little do they know, a troubling revelation has already been uncovered.
So I read Casey's report. Apparently they had a little back and forth.
He was shaking down people for drugs, but then he was letting them go. He was like, give me the fucking drugs now. Get out of here. I don't want to see you back on the street. and then he'd go behind the building and do them himself.
So you were like, well, he didn't take an act as a police officer.
Absolutely not.
Yes, yeah, I know. So I was like, no way, I'm not tolerating this. So I came down looking for him. I pulled up. Go ahead.
I don't know if they put this in the report. So in 2015, he was involved in like a SWAT incident where he barricaded himself inside and had like a whole like threat of like blow the place up. So it was like a bomb threat. He's saying,
Okay. Just saying this so calmly. So actually, this guy's crazy. He did a bomb threat that had SWAT arrive many years ago. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't think he's a police officer.
saying that he retired from Baltimore City Police after doing like 24 years. 4 years ago, which he's a convicted felon. He wouldn't be retiring 4 years ago.
The man they have detained is not Mezzi Scaletta, as he claimed, but 49-year-old Michael Scaletta Tietz. According to police documents, he was convicted of a false bomb hoax in 2015.
Yeah, he's going to jail. 100% the right call. Across the board. Did you see my face once it dawned on me what was going on?
Yeah.
Cap, there's one of these about a cop that confiscated fentanyl, then went to the bathroom at a precinct and OD'd on the fent. I'll be honest, I know that video, but I only know that video because I was editing someone's music video. And I used that clip of the cop on fent because they had a line about it. Hey, he was just trying to have a good time. That's why you don't do drugs in the bathroom, guys. That's how people die. Remember that. Do them out in public. Do them out in the open for everybody to see. Don't be a coward. No, I did see that. Yeah, he was folded up. You know his knees hurt afterwards when he woke up.
I pulled up to ask some questions about him working here because I didn't see him because he's parked over here. And he came around the corner, goes, everything good? And I looked at him and I was like, holy.
His eyes are also super constricted, and he's hella jittery. So I don't know if he's on something.
With this new information, one of the officers approaches Michael, but his explanation is strange, to say the
I mean, even if he's not on something, okay, I was going to say he seems jittery. That little shift he did, that was like a drug twitch. Take this from a guy who's done drugs before. You don't, you get jittery sometimes, you move around, you're stepping from one leg to the other, but you never just, you hit those. See, I hit those sometimes, and I'm like, is this from all the drug use? Oh no. Start moving your shoulders a little too much.
least.
Tell me what happened.
No, but even if he's not on drugs, I'm sure he's pissing himself right now with fear. Like, he knows he's fucked. Like, you're in cuffs, they're looking you up, you're surrounded, there's nowhere you can try and hide and make a bomb threat. Sucks, man. Sucks.
In 2015 with Baltimore PD.
Right.
I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
The unit, yeah. I worked in the Eastern Prison.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew what they were doing.
What? We all knew what they were doing. It was corruption, man. Corruption as high as it goes. It went to the highest level. That's why I made a bomb threat. What?
We knew what was going on. It's a matter of time. And we already had, we knew the feds were there.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep your nose clean. You don't have to worry about.
Well, I'm talking about the offense where you were arrested in Baltimore City.
Me?
In 2015.
I was arrested. I wasn't arrested. Never been arrested.
As Michael protests his innocence, the other officers are keen to check out his vehicle.
He said he has known Sheriff Sanders for 4 years.
Oh yeah, we saw CTE Ian. I like that. That's pretty good. We saw CT Ian did the Happy Merchant. We looked at that earlier. Pretty crazy. I don't even think I said that it's like the Green Goblin mask calling upon him. I don't know if like it's just that ingrained in him, the racism, the anti-Semitic, like the anti-Semitism, like everything. The bigotry is just ingrained in his brain.
Yep. No, I know.
Sheriff.
Other officers are keen to check out his vehicle.
He said he has known Sheriff Sanders for 4 years.
Yep. No, I know.
Is this guy going to jail?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
What the hell?
What the fuck? We're thinking going to hell. What are you guys gonna kill him?
Going to jail?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
What the hell?
Is that not what he said?
Is this guy going to jail?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
What the hell?
I
He's
literally
got,
can't
you can
tell.
see he's got the lights mounted in the back, too.
This isn't.
You guys think this ever works? Like maybe gaslighting an overworked cop out on his own that he didn't see you speeding. It works. I imagine it works. The cop that was going to let you go was already going to let you go. I don't think gaslighting them necessarily helps, but there are instances where, like I'm saying, you just need to know what not to say. Like you can tell them all, you can just tell them the truth up to a point, but they're always gonna, keep adding on to those little things. Oh, well, what do you mean by that? Well, what do you mean? I don't know. I don't know how that ended up there. Maybe you planned it. That's what you said.
Insane. Like the shirt is in the plastic. This reflective vest is straight from Galls.
Yeah, look, he's got a firefighter helmet, too.
Jesus Christ.
He's ready to do it all.
The officer has no idea just how true this statement will turn out to be.
That's crazy.
While they can see the reflective vest denoting
I will one sec. Discord doesn't pull up other monitor. Back to it.
police on the back, the car holds even more surprises inside. For now, Michael suggests that the reason they can't find his commission card is because it's inside the vehicle.
I just want to hear it from you. Yes or no? Are you giving us consent to search the vehicle?
What, y'all are going to tear my vehicle apart?
We're going to search the vehicle.
Okay, a little side tangent here. Shout out Fupa Troopa. Fupa Troopa just sent this. Ryan Beard said, "Hey, that's fair." Bad Empanada said, "It's just comical. He gets angry if you say stuff he's factually said. He said multiple times he fed his dog cheese. It died because of the cheese. If you say Ethan fed his dog cheese if it died, or till it died, he acts like you just denied the Holocaust. Did he confirm that that was the cause of death? He acted like I said something incredibly out of line when I said his house is covered in shit, and he said his kids ate it and got a parasite from it. That's just not true, so lying. I got that from watching his podcast. He said it." So Ryan Beard is really just going off of what Bad Empanada said. Somebody who literally he admitted is like his biggest hater, his biggest troll. You're a weak-minded individual, Ryan. What a fraud.
We're not gonna like.
We're done. All right. We're done. No.
No. Okay.
You're not going to tear my vehicle up. No.
Okay.
Apply for a search warrant. Do what you got to do.
Let's remove the gear. Let's solve that problem.
Okay.
Michael is wearing a law enforcement style vest, double pistol magazine pouches with what appears to be a magazine in each slot, a baton, multiple sets of handcuffs, and a Motorola APX series radio, which is typically used by law enforcement and fire department personnel. Upon closer inspection of Michael's silver badge, the commander with the Edmonds Police Department called it a Franken badge and stated it had the same general appearance and shape as their badges, but almost all of the specific details on it were wrong.
This guy has kind of...
Wow, that's... Where did he get that? That's not good. You guys should do a more thorough investigation on this then, because that almost makes me think that there are other fake cops in this area with fake badges. What?
Into the convincing little...
That's what I was 50. I was like around 50-50. So I was like, if this is a mistake, because I've also seen it blow back on like Edmonds is going to be chewing. Like they did have an off-duty guy here, and we like jacked one of their guys up.
With his gear removed, the officers attempt to get an explanation from Michael.
Are you still talking?
At this time, I'm going to invoke my rights and remain silent.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We all know better.
Fair enough.
We do. I think you fucked up from the start, dude. Your thought was, let me try and lie my way out first, and then I'm going to plead the fifth. Then I'm going to wait until I have a lawyer present. Not even pleading the fifth, that's in a courtroom, but you get what I'm saying. Invoking your right to an attorney. I don't need to talk to you. You didn't even want to listen to me.
Call that wily law enforcement experience, huh?
See, when a cop starts talking to you like that, you got to just start fucking with him. Because, like, obviously this guy is a scumbag. He was doing wrong. But, like, if a cop starts asking you questions after you said you want to talk to a lawyer, you got to just start playing really dumb. Oh, yeah, so all that experience, huh? What's experience? What's an experience? Just fuck it.
I'm speechless.
With Michael secured in the back of the police vehicle, the officers begin collecting information and will be stunned to discover just how far he took his dangerous ruse. His boss, who also works for Stephen Group International, soon arrives. He reveals that Michael has been working as a security guard for about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Did he tell you that he was a commissioned law enforcement officer?
Not as pronounced. He just said he did work. He works with the detectives or something about like an emergency response.
Wow, guys, this is how easy it is to get a security job. Just fucking lie. Great. Thanks, dog. You're just letting random people be like, yeah, I used to work with detectives. You can't even remember what his qualifications were. You're like, I hired him. He's a great worker. He only did a little bit of drugs on the job.
Team of some sort.
However, according to his boss, there was an incident where Michael allegedly acted as though he was a law enforcement officer. There'd been an accident at the entrance of a parking garage.
Why does he look like the villain from Lazy Town? He does, kind of. Just a little bit. Just a bit.
When I went up to look, it was my guy here. He's directly down. I had his vehicle in the roadway, kind of angled to prevent people from coming forward and using his flashlight. We're routing people away from the area where he did. I don't know for sure. Okay. Hey, is that my boss right there?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know.
Hey, you know, they're lying. I am a cop. Don't listen to them. Go away.
Okay. So you guys are saying. Right.
He just gave up. Oh my god. So wait, that's my boss? So you guys are That was actually, yeah, probably the best. You just shut up right now, dude.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know. Okay. So you guys are saying. Right.
All right.
This isn't the only time Michael is accused of doing something similar. The officers soon find a man who had been at the Salvation Army the night before and spoke with Michael.
He's going to have control of the narcotics department. He's going to be running some of you guys' units. He's been promoted, and he's moving up here this way.
Police reports state that Michael also told the man something to the effect of, "They'll all be working for me." However, this isn't his only outlandish claim. According to one of his ex-co-workers at the Salvation Army,
you know, it is interesting how his belly is like sitting over this like strap when it looks like it's so loose. Like it really does not look tight at all, but somehow he's like been able to like wedge it underneath his stomach.
Michael also maintained he was a 2-time FBI Academy graduate and a former canine sergeant. Along with this, his boss said Michael told him he was a fire inspector, and his LinkedIn profile claimed he was a fire lieutenant for 26 years.
You didn't think, like, I feel like you could have figured out just by looking at all the credentials, like, these things don't line up. This doesn't make any sense.
What the
Officers also call his wife, Jean, to inform her of the situation.
I'm so confused right now.
What part is confusing?
This whole thing. I mean, I thought that he went to work last night.
Does he work at Salvation Army?
What?
Does he work at the Salvation Army in Bremerton?
No, he's supposed to be Bremerton Kitsap.
Doing what?
Well, I know he's a reserves police officer. That's what.
He lied to his wife too. I know that's the title, but I was really wondering, like, how do you not tell your wife this? That's crazy. 70 viewers and not 70 likes. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. No, that is insane though. Like, genuinely. What? How do you hold a lie like that? Like, he could have had a second family and she just wouldn't have known. I guess that's how it's so easy, how so many guys do that. That's insane. You never question him about his job, right? I'm at a loss a little bit.
But he told me that's the work he's doing.
Jean claimed to have no idea Michael was a convicted felon.
Okay, this says in 2015 you're convicted of hoax by false bomb. You were sentenced to 4 months in prison.
What? No, bro.
Did you get your firearms rights restored?
Sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm just adjusting. I'm just kind of laid back on my seat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You did not get your firearms rights restored then?
Sorry?
You have not.
Hey, listen, I invoked my rights, man. This is all your investigation. I'm not trying to be a. I'm not. Don't take it the wrong way.
The allegations against him would soon intensify as more information comes in. According to witnesses, Michael had been blurring the boundary of his duties as a security guard as recently as last night. A 7-Eleven employee had called for police to trespass someone, and Michael can be seen in the responding officer's body cam footage. Notably, the 7-Eleven isn't on Salvation Army property where Michael was employed, and he wasn't called to help.
Well, I need clean, and this guy 24 hours is gray t-shirt.
You said he works here.
No, gray t-shirt.
No,
this guy.
Who are you asking to leave?
I call, and this guy 24 hours here in the door.
Okay.
While Michael isn't seen trespassing anyone, he still responded to a police call.
Are these serious charges or?
Why wouldn't they be serious charges? So, like, these are just misdemeanors, right? This is just like slap on the wrist kind of thing? You gonna give me another couple months, like the bomb threat?
Felonies.
2 felonies. What are the 2 felonies for? So what? I mean, I'm just asking if that's okay. I'm not trying to be whatever.
Criminal impersonation in the 1st degree and unlawful possession of firearm in the 2nd.
Criminal impersonation, the 1st degree.
Yes, correct.
That's a felony?
Yes.
I thought it was a misdemeanor.
Because the officers suspect him of taking law enforcement action, the accusations against him increase from 2nd to 1st degree. What they find in his vehicle only solidifies these suspicions.
What?
Yep.
And all right, okay. Oh, man, goodness.
Scattered throughout his vehicle are multiple patches that read Canine Officer, Police, Investigator, and Surveillance.
He got them all in like a single pack off Shein. He ordered them off Temu. Just a couple patches.
Authorities discover a black and yellow firefighter helmet, a yellow traffic vest, 2 ballistic vests, one with armor plates rated for rifle bullets.
He was literally a one-man squadron. That's kind of impressive, you know? If only he wasn't, like, more than likely also a drug addict liar. Fake police officer.
With a Star of Life patch that reads, "Rub some dirt on it, everything stops bleeding eventually." The 2nd vest has patches for paramedic and FTO, Field Training Officer. They also find a bright yellow jacket with police sewn on the front and back, along with a receipt for the patches to be sewn on by a dry cleaner.
What's
telling me you've been a cop for 30 years and you don't know how jail booking?
Well, no, it's different out here because, like, no, I'm asking what are.
You work for admins, right?
The 7-Eleven incident isn't the only time Michael may have involved himself in police matters. His ex-co-worker also shared a video Michael sent her, claiming he had responded to a dead-on-arrival call in Seattle. The video appears to be Michael's body cam footage and shows members of the Seattle Fire Department as well as a dead body. Notably, there aren't any law enforcement.
That really is just so crazy because it shows you how like uncoordinated these because it makes sense, right? Like, of course they're not going to know every officer that works in the same precinct as them or different precincts even. Like, why would they know that? But that makes it so easy for somebody literally to just dress up as a police officer and walk up to them and be like, hey guys, what's up? Well, so what are we doing today? Like, what? I'm beyond confused. He thinks he's Batman. He's literally trying to be like a vigilante by going to literal, like actual, like I just don't get it. Imagine one of the cops is like, hey, like I know this is somebody who died, but like it's like they arrest somebody and they're like, hey, you think you can take him back in your car? He's like, I don't know.
Enforcement officers on the scene yet.
Want to drag him out?
The officer transporting Michael has his own suspicions about what his motivations may be.
When was the last time you used?
I don't use.
Sure as hell knew what that meant.
Why you say that?
Because I think you're high.
You think I'm high?
I think you're high.
Okay.
I don't even want to work while getting paid. F me in the ass, I won't do it for free. I'm just like, where does he find the time? Is he doing this on company time when he's like working as a security guard and he's just running off to police calls or something? Like, I'm so confused. Like, is he just going out, like, works during the day and at night he's going out doing his vigilante work? Like, this is the weirdest case ever.
Your opinion, man.
Your opinion?
Fact, Mr. Scaletta, my theory is that this whole pretend to be a cop thing down in Salvation Army is an opportunity for you to seize drugs from a local transient people. That's what I think. I think that's how they're feeding illegal drugs.
Yeah, not. Never.
Really easy. Right?
I've never enforced that. I'm a security. No, never. I've never done anything like that, dude. Yeah, and I did that a lot, right? I had Tourette's and
I just fumbled my glass pipe, weed, not crack, LMAO, and it shattered. No! Oh, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you right now, Bobby. Hoping you the best. This one goes out to you. It's off. Double blinker? That one almost got me. Oh no. Sorry, back to it. Yes, F's in chat for Bobby, for real.
man.
I got you.
No matter how adamantly Michael makes his denials about this accusation or the allegation of criminal impersonation, his vehicle would prove to hold a wealth of evidence. Inside, authorities also found an AR-15, emergency items and tools such as jumper cables, traffic cones, water bottles, latex gloves, and 2 first aid kits. They also located vehicle impound stickers and a parking ticket book, zip-tie flex cuffs, magazine pouches, handcuff pouches, a police portable radio, pepper spray, a baton pouches, a spring-loaded knife, a drop-leg gun holster attachment, and a badge similar to federal law enforcement badges reading National Concealed Carry Law Enforcement Safety Act, retired.
He had it all. He had it all, and he threw it all away by actually taking it out in public and trying to use it.
Along with being equipped with blue and green...
Yeah, he was just role-playing. It was just some LARPing. He was live-action role-playing. I don't see what the problem is.
emergency lights, a siren, and a loudspeaker. Michael had a radio wired into the car that, when turned on, the screen read nationwide scan. According to police documents, authorities suspect he was scanning police radios and responding to calls such as the trespassing at 7-Eleven and the DOA call in Seattle.
He literally was acting like a vigilante. Like he was tapping into police frequencies and being like, Alfred, get my car ready to roll out. Get my not cop car ready. He started beating up on the homeless people. Where are the drugs? Give me the drugs.
Yeah. You're trying to get me riled up.
Michael Scaletta Teets was charged with suspected criminal impersonation in the first degree, as well as unlawful possession of a firearm in the second degree. Michael is awaiting trial, and the case is still ongoing. If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon.
That was actually one of the crazier things that I've seen. Like, I've definitely seen videos of people impersonating police officers before, but they're usually not this equipped. It usually is the same kind of circumstance of someone working as a security officer who's then adding like an extra air of authority by pretending to be like an off-duty police officer or something. You see it very often, and like it's hard to tell because sometimes they are really like off-duty police officers, just working security for some reason. I don't know. I don't fucking get it. They're I don't get the reason why, but it does happen. So you just don't question it. And it's even more crazy to me that the police on scene don't question it up to a point. Like, up to a point, they'll go, okay, something seems a little off here. But, like, to start, they're, like, willing to have anybody run up as long as they got a fake badge on. It's crazy. Yeah, his wife is probably... I think his wife definitely got the worst of this. Because what does she do in this instance? You either have to leave the house and, like, go somewhere else, go to a different person, like, go to someone you know and live with them for a while and tell him you don't want to see him and you're filing for divorce or whatever. Because, like, that is a big lie to, like, hold from somebody that your working status, your actual job, your previous jobs, you just stealing drugs from homeless people, allegedly. It's crazy. Or she can, like, get all the locks changed, but then he's going to be coming to the house. Let's just hope he gets some time. How long will it take if for a full iPhone screen replacement if I have to take it to a repair shop? They usually do it within the day, as long as they don't have, like... If it's busy, you might want to look for a second one, because if they're not busy, they could usually do it within the day, I'm pretty sure. At least, like, when I've gone with friends and stuff, they've done it, like, pretty quickly. But I think it also depends on if it's just the screen versus, like, other things inside. So I don't know. I won't, one day, Max. Bree is giving you the real one. This isn't my thought. Bree FFF said... or Briff said, I said one day, like, max. It's probably much faster, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would think if there's other people, like, if they have, like, a lineup that they have to do, you'd probably get it by, like, the end of the day. But if it's nobody else there, I mean, probably pretty quick. I dropped my phone and shattered the screen for the first time ever in my life today at work. Damn. Well, I'm hoping you the best, knocking on wood for you, that you can get it done quickly. Blessings go out to you and your family. But there's this new... Is this what you were talking about? This new...
First things first.
I'm not turning it back on. Who said that in chat? Who said to watch this? I just saw it quickly and pulled it up on the side. Jake. Did you see Critical's video he just dropped earlier? I've never seen a creator be that transparent. I'm not turning it back on Is this what you were talking about? It came out an hour ago. I don't know if this is what you meant. It seems pretty new. But I'll start it and see what it is. Check it out.
Before I cannonball into the spaghetti and meatballs of today's topic, I'd like to let you all know I've been actively working on my Mickey Mouse impression, so please let me know your thoughts. Pluto! So with that out of the way...
Here, now I need to try mine. I've been too congested, like, lately. It's not very good. See, what I've learned is I have to transition it. So I have to go from either Mr. Hanky or Towley. Because they kind of sound like this, where it's a little bit more raspy. And you get a little bit more anger in it. But then Mickey Mouse has more air in his voice. So you want to make sure that you're speaking like from the back of the throat rather than coming out of the mouth. See, but I have a problem with Mickey Mouse's cadence. Oh, Pluto! Oh, Pluto! My Mickey Mouse isn't as good as my Mr. Hanky. But we're working on it. We're getting there. Sorry, Charlie. Continue.
I'm going to show you all of my analytics from my lifetime of being on YouTube and almost a decade of being on Twitch. Now, the reason for this is, a week ago I made a video called I'm Turning It Off, and in that video I'm explaining why I'm disabling any and all means of people having the ability to donate money to me. No more super chats, no more YouTube memberships, for all intents and purposes, no more bits on Twitch. I say all intents and purposes because you can't actually fully disable that on Twitch. Once you start streaming on there, you're fucking shackled to the bits ecosystem. It cannot be turned off. So I made the minimum so high that no one can pay it, hopefully, and actively discouraging people from subbing on Twitch as well. Any and all avenues where people could just give me clams, I am just putting the kibosh on.
I mean, legitimately, look at the space he's built himself. He has a full warehouse and all this stuff. You should be able to kind of make it work off of the ad revenue at some point. I'll beg for donations. I'll be like all the other people. Please, I'm too small. I don't have 1 million. I don't have 17 million subscribers. Damn, I didn't realize he had so many subscribers. That's crazy.
First things first.
But I mean, once you hit a certain point, I think that you should probably try and work off of like trying to work off of like your fans already watch. That should be enough. They can buy from sponsorships or ads, and that'll be like the way of supporting. Get it through ad revenue and sponsorship deals. There's obviously like some need for audience funding when like people are smaller, but I definitely do give him props because there are too many big streamers like people like Hassan that I don't think he encourages it too much, but he encourages the Prime at least, right? I guess he does encourage it because he does the fucking he like points out every time that he does a top of the hour ad break or whatever. So I guess he literally does do that. But to be fair, Ethan does too. So, but I also think it kind of I don't know. It is interesting. It is an interesting conversation to have, right? It's about what you give back, right? And I mean, at the end of the day, people are only going to give what they're willing to give. It's not like anybody's going to be it's not like anybody thinks that they're expected to pay their creators. But let's see what he actually thinks. Let's continue.
I made a video called I'm Turning It Off, and in that video I'm explaining why I'm disabling any and all means of people having the ability to donate money to me. No more super chats, no more YouTube memberships, for all intents.
I will say memberships is good. Become a member for become a Quasar's cadet today. I do think memberships are good, and I need to make more membership content because the membership content is the purpose of memberships. Having things like private discords or extra content that you release, extra streams, private, more things that other people can't see as a means to create a more close-knit community as well. I don't think that's necessarily bad, but I do think just straight up donation baiting is kind of bad. Like just begging for donations, I don't think is the best look.
And purposes, no more bits on Twitch. I say all intents and purposes because you can't actually fully disable that.
To be fair to Hassan, from what I remember, he only allows subs, not super chats. Yeah, I guess that's fair. And then he gets a percentage of the primes or whatever because they don't get ads. But I guess that's not the same. I guess that would be different than the memberships. Or when you are a member, do you not get ads? I don't know how Twitch works, I guess. I don't know how Twitch works well enough. Twitch doesn't work, I guess, is the problem.
On Twitch, once you start streaming on there, you're fucking shackled to the Bits ecosystem. It cannot be turned off. So I made the minimum so high that no one can pay it, hopefully, and actively discouraging people from subbing on Twitch as well. Any and all avenues where people could just give me clam.
H3 is different because it's a whole show with employees. I know Charlie's whole like setup is just him in his like room, and obviously he is clearly making this in 1 hour. Like how many views is he making? Like, we could just do a comparison like this. He's making million, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, 600,000, 4 million, just under a million, 2.7 million, 3.4 million, 2.2 million, 3.3 million, 1.1 million. Charlie definitely doesn't need memberships. And I think that is like a good thing that he's doing. I don't think he needs to talk about it that much, though. Because I think that, again, it does kind of depend on the sizes of the different channels, because comparatively, the H3 podcast is getting what on average right now? Like 500,000 and below, I think, per episode, which is done 3 times a week versus like every single day, maybe even multiple times per day. By Charlie, getting millions of dollars. 1 hour, 17 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 5 days, 6 days, 6 days, 8 days, 8 days, 9 days, 9 days, 10 days, 10 days, 11 days, 11 days, 12 days. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's very much like a... I would call it a bit oversaturated, but hey, it's bringing in them clams, so keep at it, buddy. If you subscribe on Twitch, you don't get ads to the channel. Okay, that's fair enough then. Yeah, if you're a Twitch member, you don't get ads. Fair.
I am just putting the kibosh on. I should have done this a long time ago, but better late than never. Might as well get the farty sharded now. The reason is super simple. I would much rather you keep your money. Use it for yourself, or use it for things you deem important, whether it's charitable cause.
Or like, legitimately, Charlie is the perfect example of somebody who has expanded his like he's diversified his income, he's expanded his revenue sources, because he has like his comic. If you want to support Charlie, go buy his comic God Slap. Go, like, you know, there's different ways that you can support him. Go buy Goof Juice Code Moist. Like, there's obviously these ways that people support him that he's fine with, but he prefers these because he probably prefers them because it's like it's a goods and services, you know. He sees the service of videos to be something that he's already doing. So, I don't know. It's fair. His type of content I also don't think would translate over to membership stuff well, though, unless he like made all of his streams membership, like only public streams or something could work. Like membership only streams. But I don't know.
Causes or what have you, but just stop forking it over to me. Now, since posting that video, there's been a lot of questions and even somewhat of a pushback from other streamers about how, like, this sets a bad precedent where it, like, starts to shame other streamers if they don't follow my footsteps here. Let me be clear, I'm not trying to make a rallying cry here. I'm not your dad. You do what you want with your own streams. Keep donations and subs on out the wazoo forever. I don't care. That's your prerogative. This was just my own personal decision. Obviously, that wasn't like the most prevalent take or anything, but it is a conversation I saw stirring about after I posted that video, because there are some streamers that believe that normal people having the ability to give them money helps them feel included in the community, part of the crew, part of the ship, and it's like integral to the streaming experience to be able to like sub and donate and things like that. I've never really shared that perspective.
I wish there was a way YouTube could let us donate straight to the vet I use for my cat rescue. I'd be much more interested in posting content. They do have like a donation thing now. I don't know if you might have to do that through actual legal charities or whatever. So I don't know if you could do them through like private fundraising, but I don't know for sure. You might want to look into it. I know there is like a way to do donations now that I've seen.
I've always viewed streaming as content that you are providing to viewers for free, and if someone's nice enough to toss you a doubloon, you tip your fedora saying, "Holly jolly, thanks for the Reddit gold, kind stranger," and move on. But it's not an obligation, and no one should feel like they need to be able to give you money to be included in the community. That feels very parasocial to me, but that's just my own view on it. But what I will tell you, breaking the magician's code here, there is no top streamer that needs your financial support to put food on the table or continue providing those streams for you. Also, the bulk of a streamer's income comes from ads in the first place. Anyway, though, I think this stems from people just not really knowing how much money a top streamer can make.
Oh, I think I've seen him show his, like, kind of his money before. Bro's making bank. If he's about to show it, I'm about to cry.
Let me show you my analytics from my lifetime on Twitch.
Cry right
now, Twitch analytics are a little wonky here on the back end, so I wasn't able to just set the date range from 2017 to 2025 because it would just freeze. It would just have a conniption. I bet the Twitch HQ server just fucking caught flame with me trying to do that, so I had to break it up into chunks. So in 2017 is when I really started like actually streaming on Twitch. I had dabbled in 2016, but it wasn't until 2017 where I got like partnered and everything. So from 2017 to 2019, I made $55,500 for those 2 years. And I wasn't full-time streaming at this point or anything. It was just a bit of goofing around, having some fun, and it brought in $55,500. From 2019 to 2021 is when I took it a lot more seriously, as you can see. My time streamed went from 600 hours on the 2 years to 3,600 hours, and I made $1.2 million for those 2 years. And this was before my Twitch contract, so the only ads that were running on my stream...
Wait, what? Wait.
Were like the pre-roll ads, the ones that Twitch would insert themselves. So this was still without ads, by the way. $1.2 million. Almost 1.3. Then I got a Twitch contract which necessitated a certain amount of ads. 3 minutes of ad time per hour. And from 2021 to basically 2025, I made $4.1 million. And to those astute observers amongst you with those keen peepers, you might notice that my subscriptions are less than half of what they were for the previous 2-year period. So even though I have 180,000 less subs across these 3 years than I did for the previous 2, I still made significantly more. And that is because of ads. Ads are the breadbasket to streamers. That is the jelly to the peanut butter sandwich that is streaming.
I don't need to make $4 million a year. Just give me a fraction of it, please. Charlie, shout me out. Give me a little shout out. Miko XD or Miko. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome to Quasar's Cadets. Thank you. Thank you for helping my $1 million fund. Oh, no, that's crazy. That is just insane. I've seen him do that before. I remember there was a video he showed a while back where on one stream he made like $80,000 or something just from the ad revenue on a single stream. It can be insane. Like, it can be insane the amount people can make off of ad revenue. Miko? Okay. I got it. I'll remember that from now on. Thank you, Miko.
And keep in mind, these numbers here, the 4.1, the 1.2, those don't even include brand deals or sponsorships. And I didn't have any like ancillary donations, but a lot of streamers do through like Streamlabs for like text-to-speech, stuff like that. So that doesn't include any of those other means of making money through the medium. This is solely through just Twitch itself. And I think something important to mention, contrary to popular belief, I am not a top streamer. I am also not even a full-time streamer, and I haven't been for over 1.5 years. So my 2025 earnings, I didn't really put them here. It's about 100K. So another thing to add to the total here. But I'm not even a full-time streamer anymore, and I haven't been a top 20 streamer probably since the fucking Among Us boom. You know, back in the prehistoric internet age now. Like, the Among Us era is the only time where I broached, like, the top 20. I've not been in that ball game for a while, and yet this is still a crazy amount.
I am looking at my second YouTube payout. Shout out everybody that watches, all of the watch hours and the members. It really does help a lot. Obviously, you don't get paid out a whole bunch starting off on YouTube, but it's a slow process, and that's why I'm gonna try and cut down some shorts, not some shorts, but some clips from these streams. Like I'm gonna cut down the watching of this into a video and put that on the channel, because I have a few like body cam video reactions that got a little bit of views, and it's just about releasing more stuff, it seems. So I'm going to be trying to talk about more things here.
Amount of money where there is no reason I should be taking money from just normal people working normal everyday jobs. It just doesn't feel right to me. Streaming is the easiest job there is. Hot take, I know, sorry, that was a blistering, scalding magma that I just spewed out there, but it is just the truth. I sit in swamp ass for a few hours.
I think it's also like a fact that, I mean, streaming is like one of the easiest jobs. I don't know if it's necessarily the easiest, because like, what if you're just like, I guess it's not a job to be a sugar baby, but you know, there's other ways to make income. But it is one of the easiest jobs, but I think that's partially because part of it takes like a certain personality type, someone that likes to talk a lot, somebody that has too much to say, too much input to give. Because there are a lot of people that try streaming for, you know, years and years and years, 5 years plus. I've seen some people, and it scares me on some level, because you see people that never make it. But then I've clicked on their videos and it's them like not even laughing, like Jinx. So you know, you get lost in it sometimes, where you become fearful. But my whole like conceptualization of what I would like to do with my channel is express my own thoughts and maybe work towards like writing a book or something else, you know, but use this as an outlet and a means to share ideas amongst people, you know, and we share ideas in chat. We have chat up here, so we see what everyone's saying. It's a great time. Show us your payout. Don't, the transparent king will come. It's time to be 100% opacity. Maybe not right now. I think, I mean, I could tell you that I just said I'm about to get like my second YouTube payout, and they pay out at $100, so do the math. You know, it's, I'm hoping that can, before the end of the month, go up a lot more, but, you know, we're starting to make a little something. But you see that there's a possibility here, and it's just about doubling down on it and really, you know, digging my heels in a little bit and being here for you guys. And cutting down the content into clips, because boy, does that do good, apparently. Millions and millions of views on stuff that's kind of, like I said, I watch some of Charlie's content, but I've said this before, that at times it does feel like he's rambling on about, like on non sequiturs. And I understand some people like it just because it's kind of like nonsense to put on in the background while he's covering other topics. But I gotta respect the grind.
Every day, well, at least I used to when I was a full-time streamer, playing games or just yapping. Now compare that Weenie Hut Jr. routine to a normal person who is actually working their ass off every single day in a 9-to-5 environment, grinding in the hopes of chasing the American dream. And then they'll come home, maybe turn on my stream and donate a couple of dollars.
What do you do for work otherwise? You trying to dox me, balls, chat?
To me, and it just doesn't
balls
sit right with me taking that kind of money, given what I've made from all of this. And I really should have just stopped this a long time ago, especially considering this is just the Twitch side of things. I told you I'm going to show you my YouTube earnings, so be ready.
Oh no, Charlie, let's see. Oh god. Charlie, can I have like $20? Charlie, can I have like $20,000? Yo, Charlie, let me borrow $20,000 real quick.
Ready, because here it is! Huge fucking number, an unfathomable...
Oh my god, that's his whole time earnings from 2007 to 2025. So over the course, he's made $35 million. $35.87 million is fucking insane. Oh, the stream started. Thanks to everybody that stopped in. I really do appreciate it. Remember, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to keep going because it's a membership stream. So I'm here for everybody that doesn't have an H3 membership. But yeah, we're going to keep going for now. But god damn. $35.87 million. I'm actually...
amount of money. From starting this channel in 2007 all the way until today, I have made $35.8 million. I never even imagined that amount of money was possible to earn without just being born rich. I have said from day one, I got incredibly lucky. I will never be able to put into words just how lucky I got with all of this shit here. I'm not special. I got lucky. I have always said that, and I still believe that to this day. Now, something I saw a lot of people asking after the video I made about turning off all the donation stuff is how much money I'm leaving on the table. And while it's kind of hard to show it on Twitch considering...
Wow. That's interesting. Does he just not upload shorts? I guess that's probably what it is. That makes sense. Because I know shorts content doesn't do as good, but he also just doesn't upload a lot, so it makes sense why that's so low.
Both subs and bits are technically still on, even though I discourage both and have bits at a point where I don't think it's even possible to use them. I still can't get like a hard number on what's like gone now or anything like that, but on YouTube I can show you directly. So with memberships and supers / gifts, I made over $1 million. Keep in mind, I've only had those things enabled for about a year. So it was $1 million in a year from just normal people donating it to me. Again, that just doesn't fucking sit right with me. Now I know there are plenty of streamers and YouTubers that have significantly more money than me and have subs and donations on and whatever. I don't care. Like I said, this is not me trying to...
You shouldn't care, bro. You make enough. Give you that thumbs up because, hey.
Lead some kind of revolution here where all of them turn it off. It's their choice to make. I wanted to explain fully why I don't want normal people just giving me their money anymore at all. Also, to be honest, I think just full goatseeing, showing how much streaming / YouTubing can make, just showing you the full, unedited, raw numbers is probably helpful for normal people so they can see how much money is in this space, because I think there's often so many question marks from people wondering how much does a streamer or YouTuber make. They'll either say like they're making billions of dollars or they're making nothing. There's never like an in-between because there's never any like really hard numbers to look at. So I think something like this can be helpful for that, especially because over the years I've noticed there's been a multitude of creators that have come out and tried to like underplay how well off they are financially because they believe it could be somewhat of a brand risk where if they're perceived as being someone that's very rich, well, maybe their audience wouldn't like them as much because they're no longer relatable. It's just something I've seen here and there over the years from a bunch of different creators, and I just find it a bit disingenuous. So hopefully something like this can help show that if someone is in like the top sphere of YouTube or Twitch, they are very, very well off financially. Anyway though, if you add both of these numbers up, I've made a total of $41.3 million. But that's not to say that's what I have. Now, I do live in Florida, which means there is no individual income tax. Big time Florida W right there. And I know, I'm big...
Why isn't everybody moving to Florida?
Big time...
Well, I guess there's a lot of reasons people aren't moving to Florida. Never mind.
Gushing grannies, Florida glazer. I've lived here my whole life, and that is something very nice about it. But it's not to say that the tax man comes in gentle with the lube. He still goes whole hog raw. It is still brutal when the tax man comes a-knocking. He'll blow up your guts. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Obviously, a good chunk instantly goes to taxes. There's also like salaries for the people that I pay on my team, other expenses, and also for the first 4 to 5 years of me earning money through my YouTube channel, I donated every single dollar to charity. So while I may have earned $41 million over the course of my time online, I don't have nearly that much. But I still have more money than I will ever know what to fully do with. And I actually thought it would be kind of fun to go through like a deep dive on what it looks like. You know, taxes, expenses, all that kind of thing to see how it all breaks down. but maybe that's a topic best left for a different video. So for now, I'll probably just conclude it here. Hopefully this was insightful. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
So that is it. So yeah. I might clip that one out too, make a video out of that too. Let's make as many videos as possible now. Jesus Christ. My God. That is insane. But I mean, it does make sense. Like, how many views does he have? 12 billion views. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That adds up. That adds up. But again, he said that's not the money he has, which obviously he does have less than that. But that money also doesn't include the money from, I don't know if it was profitable at all, but from sponsorship deals and his God Slap comic and all that. So there are other aspects of, in which he makes money. But that was a very interesting video. Yeah, I don't think many YouTubers or any YouTubers really are that open. This is the last thing I'm going to watch really quick. It is Am I Afraid of Hell by Rhett McLaughlin, who you might know better as Rhett and Link. This is the Rhett and Link. Let's take a look.
I haven't done this in a while, doing it all on my own. I feel like I'm somehow over and underqualified to do this at this point. I've been having heart trouble, and I just got a procedure to get it fixed. And while I was preparing for this procedure, which you could technically call surgery, even though they kept calling it a procedure, I'm going to call it a surgery because it sounds more serious. As I was preparing for this heart surgery, I began to think about the possibility that I might die during it because, there's not a, 0% chance that would happen.
You should be thinking about your death all the time, Rhett. You could just fall over after making this video. You could record this video and stand up and fall over and hit your head and die. It's possible. Got to consider it.
And I asked myself, as someone who used to believe in hell and now doesn't believe in hell, am I still a little bit scared that I might die and go to hell? That I might die during this surgery and wake up in eternal conscious torment? Well,
see, I think I would only be upset if I went to hell if I wasn't shown that heaven existed. Because if I was just forced into hell, there would also be that graining thought of like, was this just the inevitability? Was there ever a heaven to begin with? But if you get to go like in like the Christian faith and go talk to God and be like, what's good, bro? And dap him up. And he's like, why'd you do that shit? And you're like, my bad. And he goes, no, no, no. And then casts you to hell. In that circumstance, at least you can kind of like look behind him and be like, whoa, that looks so cool. They have a water slide. And then the hell feels more like, you're like, damn it, man. But if all you see is hell, it just feels like it would kind of piss you off a little bit.
Let's talk about that. I can't say that. Sorry. That is a catchphrase that I use in another part of my life. I'm going to have to say something else. I'm going to talk about that. Maybe I don't need a catchphrase. So originally I tried to make this video before I had the procedure, like the night before I had the procedure. But the heart issue that I was having, which is like the rhythm of the heart was not right. It was acting up.
It is a heart arrhythmia.
And it's very distracting when it's acting up. And also it was like 85 degrees in this room because the AC was broken. And so I was sweating. My heart was acting up. It felt a little too much like hell in order to make a video about hell.
I talk with people about procedures all day, and 70% of people ask if procedures and surgeries are the same thing, LOL. What is the difference? Is it like the level of anesthetic or something? Well, or the level of invasiveness, maybe?
Probably actually would have been a good idea, but it felt too dramatic and I just couldn't handle it at the time. So I've waited until I have now lived through the procedure, the surgery.
Add me to that 70%. What's the answer?
And now I'm going to talk about where my thoughts were at because I wrote them all down before the surgery. First of all, welcome to my YouTube channel. As if there were not already enough places on the internet where you could see me talking out of my ass, which actually seems like something that we probably would have tried on Good Mythical Morning or Good Mythical Evening, definitely. But because we are no longer doing Ear Biscuits, we're taking an indefinite hiatus from Ear Biscuits, like we talked about on the episode that dropped on the same day that this video dropped. I'm not really going to have an outlet when I want to talk about more serious things. And so I wanted to create that. So that's what this channel is. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, then I appreciate you doing all of the YouTube things and the subscribing and the liking and the commenting, because the YouTube magic makes things happen. I don't know how often I'm going to post on this channel. It's going to be if I got something to say and if I have time to say it.
You're already a fucking 100 millionaire. We saw Charlie's video. You don't need more subscribers. I bet you that video did make some people nihilistic, like actually. But sorry, let's focus on this.
I might do that. Speaking of Ear Biscuits, I talk all about the heart condition and the procedure, surgery that happened to me in the episode of Ear Biscuits that comes out on the same day. I'm not going to talk about that here, but it wasn't super serious, but it felt serious. And I was told that there was, of course, because I was going under general anesthesia and they're going into your heart and doing stuff, there's always a risk that you could die. So I was thinking about mortality. I was sort of facing down mortality in a way that I never have before, because while I'm not, I am kind of old, especially for YouTube, right? I'm 48 probably by the time this video is up. And when you're dealing with your heart, you're dealing with something that is the thing that kind of keeps you going. This year has been a time of me thinking more about my life and my eventual death. Hell has always meant a lot to me. That may sound a little bit weird, but it actually was the reason that I became a Christian in the first place. I remember when I was 5 years old, my parents were telling me about the afterlife. You know, they're kind of explaining all of the big existential truths about life. And they're telling me about these two destinies, heaven and hell. And they described heaven and it sounded cool, but when they got to hell and started describing it as a place essentially of torture and fire and never ends, I was like, well, hold up. What do I do not to go there? Not what do I do to get to heaven? What do I do to make sure that I do not go to this place that you just described? And that's when they
I mean, purgatory even sounds better. Just put me in limbo. I'll be chilling there instead of burning, right?
told me that I needed to accept Jesus into my heart. You know, that was the kind of way that it was explained to a 5-year-old at the time. They talked about sin and sacrifice and being in a right relationship with God, but I was 5 years old. So I was like, okay, Jesus is going to get inside my heart. I don't know how it works. I don't know if I have to drink him. I don't know if you give me a pill. I don't know if this is an injection. And they're like, no, it's just a prayer and he'll be in there and you're good to go. And I was like, let's do that. And like a lot of people who make a decision like that when you're young, later in life, when I was 14, I remember I was at a concert for the band New Song. New Song was coming to Campbell University in Buies Creek, North Carolina, my hometown. They were going to play a concert, and we were all going to go. Now, keep in mind, New Song, Christian band, and a little
Surgery is more invasive than a procedure, but in the medical sphere, everyone says procedure. Like a colonoscopy is a procedure and a heart transplant is a surgery, but medical staff always say procedure for everything, and it becomes confusing for patients. I guess that makes sense, because that's kind of what I assumed. Things in which, like, going into cavities versus opening new cavities. Christians will do anything to trick themselves to be good people. I mean, it does come, like, I don't know. I think that your morals, even if you think that it comes from the Bible, do come from something else. In the same way that it's like you could argue with someone who doesn't, you know, the argument goes in both directions, that if you believe in God, do you only do good things because you're afraid of going to hell? Do you only do good things because you're afraid of going to jail? Or do you understand what is right and what is wrong? I don't know. There is like a bit of a similarity there.
Context here. So it was probably 1991 at the time. They had a couple of albums. They had a 1998 album called Say Yes that had a song on it called Innocent Man, not to be confused with Billy Joel's 1983 song An Innocent Man on his album An Innocent Man. But just to give you a little picture of the world that I was operating in at the time, if you want to take a second, either now or a little bit later, go and listen to Billy Joel's An Innocent Man. And then right on the heels of that, listen to New Song's Innocent Man. Turn them both up loud, especially New Song, and just compare and contrast, and then you'll know a little bit more about me, who I am, and where I come from. But that night, New Song talked about heaven, and they talked about hell, and they talked about if you're not sure that you're right with the Lord, you can do that right now. And I was like, actually, I've been spending a lot of time lately wondering if little 5-year-old Rhett completely understood things. I think I just thought Jesus was getting inside my heart, and I don't know what that means. I need to acknowledge I'm a sinner. I need to be saved. Let's do it again. I prayed the prayer again to make sure that I was not going to go to hell, because it still seemed like a very bad place. But hell didn't only play a role in me becoming a Christian. It was actually something that I used all the time when I was trying to talk other people into becoming a Christian, because I was very involved in campus ministry when I was in college. And then after I graduated college, I went and worked full-time as a missionary, training college students in evangelism. And one of the questions that I would ask people at some point in a conversation, I would say, if you were to die tonight, do you know where you would go? And by the way, that's a hell of an icebreaker. It really,
I mean, the answer is no. Nobody knows where they'll go. You can have a pretty strong idea. You can have a guess. You can have a pretty strong feeling. But you'll never truly know until you're there. Or not, I guess. I guess if death really is the end and it's just eternal blackness after, you will never know. That's something to think about.
really brings things into focus. It scares some people away, yes, as you might guess. But what I'm getting at is that hell, the prospect of hell, is something that was very motivating for me, and it was also very motivating for the people that I was talking to about their destiny. Now, I don't believe in hell anymore, and I've told my story of my spiritual deconstruction. You may be tired of hearing that word. I am a little bit. But I've told that story elsewhere in great detail. That's not what this video is about. But I can just quickly tell you that I spent most of my life and a good portion of my adult life believing that my faith was very special. Special in that it was true, that it was the one true faith. It was the one faith that was revealed by God through the Bible and also in his son, Jesus Christ. And my deconstruction / deconversion can best be described as me, over the course of about a decade, asking myself some really difficult questions, asking my faith some very difficult questions, and slowly coming to think that my faith was like every other faith. It was something that people had created in order to answer some difficult existential questions. One of those questions is, where do you go after you die? Now, when I was a Christian, of course, I believed in the Christian hell, but I didn't believe in any other hells from the other religions. I didn't go to sleep at night thinking that I might die and end up in the house of lies, which is the hell of Zoroastrianism. I mean, New Song didn't have a song called House of Lies. I mean, they could. I wouldn't put it.
That's a good song name, I have to say. I was about to say that would be a fire song title.
Past them. Sounds like something they could work out. I mean, they had a song called More Fun Than Sin, and they had one called Square Peg Round Hole. You should listen to both of them. So in a sense, one way to explain it is that now that I'm no longer a Christian, I don't believe in the Christian hell. So it's just another hell that I don't believe in. But it's not that simple.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, here's the thing. I would say that I probably, in my belief system, probably don't believe in like the idea of like eternal damnation or hell in that like kind of like conceptualization. But I still fear hell, right? Like I don't just fear Christian hell, I fear every hell because I could just be wrong. I could be wrong and at the behest of whatever deity sees me as unfit to come to their heaven. So that's why I just try my best to live a proper life on earth and hope that it's in alignment with whatever creator looks upon me. And if it's nobody, if there is no creator, then hopefully whatever I leave behind was better than I had when I got here. That's the main principle, right?
Because I did believe in it. I believed in it when I was very little. I believed in it the majority of my life. I told people about it. And so it's deeper in there, right? It's in that psyche. It's in my mind and it's in my heart. And with a lot of people that I talk to, I see that even after they stop believing in sort of like the foundational worldview of a religion like Christianity, they hold on to this idea of hell. It's one of the ones that sticks around. It's one of the ones that's in the back of your mind a lot of times, even after you've stopped believing. I think it can be really helpful to look at the doctrine of hell, see its origin, see where it comes from, see how it developed over time. There's a lot of people who've done a lot of great work on this. I'm not an expert. I'm not a theologian. I'm not a historian. I'm going to point you to some of those resources, but then I'm going to kind of cover some of the highlights that have stuck with me. So my friend Britt Hartley of No Nonsense Spirituality, she made a video called The Origins of Hell and the Underworld in Religions and Mythologies.
I might have to watch that on stream. It's only 25 minutes. We might watch that another time. I'm thinking of maybe doing Sunday streams sometimes and talking about more religious topics from different, not just Christianity, but from different religions.
Genetically Modified Skeptic made a video called I Traveled to Jerusalem to Face My Fear of Hell. And Derek from Myth Vision made a video called The Invention of Hell, From Ancient Shadows to Eternal Fire. You can watch any or all of those. If you want a little bit more comprehensive, deep dive into this, you can read Bart Ehrman's book, Heaven and Hell, A History of the Afterlife. Again, if you're interested in this, check out some of those resources. I'm just going to talk about this.
I've watched like a few interviews with Bart Ehrman, but I've never read any of his books. Seems like it's probably worth reading if you're interested in that. I would recommend if you want to just see a bit of his him talking. He's done quite a few interviews with I feel like I give Alex O'Connor a shout out pretty regularly now.
I haven't.
Bart Ehrman has been on Alex O'Connor's show, I think, a couple times. Him as well.
In reading my right, it's the entire Old Testament, thinking assassin.
Judas wasn't. Yeah, I like the one. I remember watching this one, the Gospel of Judas. What does it say? Learning about Judas Iscariot, like what Iscariot means, all that type of stuff was very interesting.
In a very cursory fashion. So when the afterlife is talked about in the Bible, in the earliest parts of the Bible, we don't hear about heaven and hell. We hear about this place called Sheol, which is tattooed on my arm. Again, that's another story. But it was a place of darkness and dust and dreariness, and it was a place that everybody went, both the righteous and the wicked. Now, this Sheol was very similar to other conceptions of the afterlife by people in the same area where the biblical writers were, right? In the ancient Near East, even going back a couple of thousand years before the Bible was written in ancient Sumeria, the earliest record of anybody talking about the afterlife is them talking about this place called Ker, which was essentially a place of darkness, dustiness, and dreariness, very similar, where everybody went. All that to say, the first sort of conception of the afterlife in the Bible has a lot of similarities to the people who were around them. And then in later parts of the Old Testament, suddenly you see some new ideas coming in, this idea of some kind of resurrection and judgment. And this coincides with the Israelites being in the Babylonian exile and then Persian rule and being exposed to these ideas by the cultures that they were surrounded by at that time. And then a little bit later, they're exposed to these Greek Hellenistic ideas where there's a talk of an eternal soul and there's descriptions, like physical descriptions of what hell is like. A very hot place, Hades, it's called, which is the same term used for the Greek hell, and those ideas end up making their way into the New Testament. Now, this is a very...
Yeah, and I think there's only like a few instances where they talk about like sulfur and stuff like that within the New Testament.
Very, very short and quick oversimplification of what happened. But essentially what you see is that when a concept about the afterlife is introduced in the Bible, it is consistent with the cultural influences that the writers are experiencing at the time. And it changes over time and can be tracked to specific historical events like the exile or Alexander the Great taking over Persia, and these new ideas coming into their minds that then make their way into what they're writing about. So to me, that looks a whole lot like people are making it up. Now, I'd heard about this when I was a Christian, this idea that the description of hell sort of...
Well, my whole thing is like this. I consider myself to be what you would say is a perennialist. So I think that there is like truth within everything. Like you can look into something and find some kind of truth within. You know, all religions, everything speak to some greater truth. And I guess I would say that this idea probably is a collection of the teachings of different peoples at the times, but also it does bring the question of what is the truth in those statements, like what is the actual and not to say like what is hell then, but then what is the psychological necessity for hell? Like what was the creation of hell built upon in the first place? Of this nothingness and this idea of this dust and all that. And because like in my head, like the idea of hell in like a biblical sense and a Christian sense would be like something where it's just like the absence of God, almost like a purgatory or a limbo, where it's just like a nothingness, a space of nothingness. And I think that it would honestly be, it would be hell. Just imagine you're put in a black void and all you have is the ability to think and contemplate and think about what you did wrong and what you did right and what you could have done better and what you did for eternity. I think that you would drive your, you know, you'd go crazy. It would be a torture in itself, because pain is like pain as felt, you know, like through stimuli is usually like you can get used to it at a certain point. Your nerve endings will die unless they're, you know, you're in hell regrowing nerve endings. But what's the point of having nerve endings at all then? What's the mechanisms there? It's complicated. But that's why I think that focusing on the circumstances of the afterlife do kind of prevent you from creating a way of living in your current life, because you're too focused on what it means to make it to this end goal.
Evolves throughout the Bible, and that it looks a lot like what other people believed around them. But I believe that the Bible was true, that it was without error, that it was completely internally consistent. And so I would turn to apologists or theologians who would help me understand why it might seem like it's evolving over time. It might seem like there are these cultural influences, but that's not really what's happening. And they said that...
Well, I mean, the easiest argument against it is literally just, well, of course it was developed through, like, you know, these other religions were, or these other peoples were feeling it, but they weren't able to get it right because they weren't the true people or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they weren't following the correct religion. They were idol worshippers, like stuff like that. Like there is always a workaround, because most of the stuff, like the Bible has contradictions. Like a lot of it is built upon like falsification of information, like whether it be explicit or implicit, this, you know, lying through omission and not like contending with actual like problems, like with what he was saying, univocality and inerrancy, saying that the Bible is wholly correct and spoken through the voice of God, and like this whole, like, because that's just not even the way the Bible teaches it, but it's a way, it's like an idea that Christians have implanted into this into their biblical teachings.
The cultural influences are overstated, first of all, that there's a lot that these skeptics and critics are reading into it. And then the second thing is that it may seem like the concept is evolving over time, but it's really just the concept is being revealed over time.
Yeah.
Something called progressive revelation, right? In the Old Testament, things.
But I think that also goes against Old Testament teaching of like, you know, Adam and Eve being the first peoples and then their lineage following that, because like Judaism isn't the oldest religion. So they couldn't have been the first peoples. They might have, like, you could maybe make the argument for that they were like the first peoples in this, like, in this story or whatever. But there was already like religions for thousands. I know it's a long time prior to that.
We're this way, and we're just kind of revealing more and more truth over time. And then in the New Testament with Jesus, things are sort of fully revealed at that point. And you know what? That was good enough for me. And I was very willing to accept it because
yeah, Hinduism goes about 4,000 years back. And like 2000 BCE, 23,000 to 500 or 1500 BCE, 2300 to 1500. Make sure I said that right. But yeah, I mean, Judaism it follows down the right, but then yeah, like Zoroastrianism's up there too, Jainism. Interesting. All interesting.
I needed it to be true. I needed the Bible to be true, and I needed it to be internally consistent. I needed it to have a consistent picture of hell. And so I was very quick to say, yep, that's it. That's what those guys think. I'm in. Now, at this point in my life, I don't need it to be true. So when I see how these cultural influences line up very consistently with the way that the concept of hell evolves, I'm not like trying to reconcile that. I'm just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like they got the idea from other people around them, and then they kind of evolved it and made it their own. And then they experienced this new thing, this new captivity, this new exile, and they got some ideas from over here and they added it to their idea, and it continued to evolve. It seems like a pretty cool process to me, but it also kind of confirms the idea that they're making it up as they go along. Now,
and again, my argument against that would just be that they're making it up based upon some kind of internal drive, and understanding that internal drive would be what you know, the true religion like is or whatever. It's not like I'm not saying to found a religion off of that, but I'm just saying that you know, we clearly have a drive towards some kind of theism, whether it's monotheism or polytheism, or, you know, there is kind of these different, there is a drive there, and part of it is just understanding our those internal internal questions like he was talking about, like what happens when you die and stuff like that, and just trying to come up with solutions for it. But I just find it very interesting the ways in which that was done, I guess. Because I don't know what would be true, but hey, there's something there. And that's just my belief.
Love.
Honestly, and I like to say it like this, because I don't have faith in anything. What I have is a hope. Because I don't know what's going to happen, but I can hope for something, and nobody can take my hope away. You can break someone's faith by showing them enough evidence, but you can't prove my hope wrong. It's impossible. It's quite literally impossible.
Of horror movies. I have this ability to completely give myself over to the premise, to like get lost in it and get really, really scared. And I'm a little bit sick. I like that. I like not being able to sleep a little bit, not wanting to be alone for a couple of days. But sometimes the horror can be a little bit too much for me. And in those moments, I have to stop and remind myself that this isn't real, that it's made up, that people are doing this, that there is a director right off camera. There's a camera, by the way. Yes, there's a camera. That's an actor. That little girl whose head is spinning around as she vomits all around the room because she's got a demon in her, that's not even a little girl. It's...
I mean, to be fair, this realization doesn't even work in modern horror because they use things like the sound, like sound cues and things to literally like raise your blood pressure and like fuck with your autonomic system or whatever.
Some kind of robot. And there's a guy that is at the end of a tube that's connected to the robot, and he's pumping like pea soup into this little girl robot's head, and it's going around the room, and there's a director saying, "More pea soup!" People are doing it. It's a craft. And when I can put that layer between me and what I'm seeing on screen, I relax a little bit. I'm not as scared by it. I think that's how hell works. I think hell is a story that we told ourselves for very particular reasons. And it's a very...
I like the analogy of using like a movie, but the whole thing is, in a movie, you do know that there's the director, you do know that there's the camera. You might know that these religions were built off of foundations that came before them. They didn't just like appear. But that doesn't necessarily disprove hell as a concept. Like heaven and hell could exist, but it's just about the way in which they exist. An afterlife is possible, or at least not possible, is plausible at the very least. And so it kind of pulls away from that, like that knowing, because you don't truly know. Like you said, do you know what's going to happen when you die? No, you don't truly know. Because we also don't know, like, you know, there's the whole the whole idea about like, what if DMT gets released in your brain, and then that's what heaven is because you're going on this like, you know, 30,000 year long journey that's actually just your brain releasing this chemical compound, and it's a perceptual thing that's happening in a split fraction of a second before you die or something. You know what I mean? Like there is like this possibility of that being true too. Don't know. I literally could not know.
Scary story. And it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you if you think it's scary. It was designed to be scary. It was designed to elicit an emotional response, and it does very effectively. But when we can take a step back and say, you know what? We told ourselves that story, not God, then I think it becomes a lot less scary. So to answer the question that I asked at the very beginning, was I scared of hell when I was going into the procedure? No, I wasn't. I was actually scared that I hadn't told him that I had a little bit of a sore throat, because you're supposed to tell him if you have like a sore throat or a cough, because you go under anesthesia, things can go a little bit sideways. But it was just a little bit of a sore throat. And I thought if I told them, they'd be like, we need to call this thing off and reschedule it. And I really wanted to get this thing done because I'm so tired of dealing with it. That was really the thing that I was thinking about when I was going to bed that night. And it was the first thing that I thought about when I woke up, a sore throat and what might happen, not hell. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful.
Yeah. Well, here's my whole thing is I don't think in that moment that's the wrong thought to have, because I think it is more human to have concerns about your current status and your current life. But I think that the impending fear of just not knowing what our afterlife is what kind of is that needle, you know? But that is going to be it for today. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. A little bit longer stream than usual. We're going to keep it up, keep on trying to do more stuff. I'm going to try and chop up some of these, put them on the channel as videos. Thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as well as other days, as you know, trying to get more streams in there. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped by. This is Captain Quasar, signing off.